Welcome everybody to the Candle Enthusiast. I am your host, Shane Carlson, and this is Aromatically speaking, my secondary channel to the new home. Well, it's not new really anymore, but it is the home for all of my future candle content. I want to thank you for joining me on a very special, very relaxing, sunny day outdoors, back on the old apple country back porch. It's we got a lot of fun stuff to do today. We are going live. I am in this location. A lot of you who've been watching me for a long time may recognize this location, back porch. But yeah, I'm currently setting up for a video in the studio, and everything is rearranged. I figured let's just get outside. Let's hear the birds chirp. And you know, I need color. I really should be outside because there's no sun in the porch, but I do have some accompanying lights that are shining on my face. Maybe it'll give me some color. First thing to do is to pull you folks up so we can see you in the chat area. And yeah, let's get started. We have unboxings to do. We have these to share. We have some small batch stuff, and we are once again going to end the show with a Q&A / giveaway. A little bit more of a modest giveaway, but a giveaway nonetheless. So let's just jump right into it. How's that sound? Pulling you guys. I want to welcome everybody into the chat area. I do see you. Hello, hello, hello. And if you are near your phone or a computer and you would like to join the chat area, I'm going to welcome you to do so. All right. I also don't have my microphone. So we're going like old school microphone right off the MacBook Pro here. I hope it sounds okay. We've been having some lag issues with the video. Let's hope that that is at least better. There's really nothing I can do about that. First thing, well, you know what? Let's wait for this, because this is pretty cool. I have a box right here, and a lot of you folks took advantage of, not so recent, but Kringle Candle had a 50% off site-wide sale. But because of the state of the world and Massachusetts shipping restrictions, it has taken quite some time for our goodies to get to us. Mine finally arrived. I figured I'd get a few things. Not a lot, as you can see, but enough to, you know, tide me over until I get back to Kringle Candle, which hopefully is very soon. And we got packing peanuts. You know how I hate packing peanuts. That's what takes up all the time with, come on, there it is. With the cleanup. I'm going to dump these out into a bucket, and I missing just about the entire bucket. All right. You know what? Just not in the mood for packing peanuts today. My receipt. I will hold on to that. Would you consider this a business deduction? I might consider it to be. Oh yeah. Can anyone guess? That's what the giveaway question should have been. If you guys could guess what candles I purchased from Kringle's website for 50% off. Hello, hello. I'm going to try to focus really on the chat today. I'm going to do my best because, you know, I rewatch these live streams and I'm seeing all these great questions that come in, and I don't. I kind of feel bad that I didn't see them when I was live because I would love to answer some of them. So make sure if you have a question that don't feel embarrassed to post it a couple times if I don't see it. All right, so this is one that I would consider Queen Candle. Yeah, this is something that whether Kringle Candle, if they put out their Halloween fragrances again this year, or it's this is one that is available all year round, unless they're just sold out, which does happen sometimes. This when you take a look at it, you'll see that it's got a very witchy, whimsical, maybe not whimsical, mystical. I'm going for look to it, and those colors really are as vibrant as they appear. This is called Spellbound. This is a pretty old fragrance. You know, there was a part of me that thought this was retired. And maybe it could be with this, you know, with that sale, if they were clearing it out. It's, you know, if you like the idea of the candles, you know, concepts, the gothic candles, the horror candles, the spooky candles, but you are sensitive to a lot of deeply rich, robust, thick, resinous sounds. Did I just say sounds? Smells. If you can't handle the frankincense and the myrrhs and the dragon blood, and you can't handle you know, the strong patchoulis and the vetivers, this one just might be for you, and I'll tell you why. Let me show you a picture of it close up. I said that with attitude because I really like the label of this guy. Very simple. Kind of looks like the original The Candle Enthusiast opening. But this is a word candle. You know, there's nothing severely exotic about this. You know, really, truly what comes first is the fruits, you know, the plummy, berry, blackberry, boysenberry fruits. Very juicy and vibrant, but still rather musky and floral. And although there is smoke on the label, there's no smoke in this candle. It's actually been a long time since I smelled this one. Discovering it. Floral, but you know, I want to be easy there because I don't want to scare anyone. These are the easy ones. These are, you know, me, florals, it's hard. It's hard for me to burn them. It really is. This, all day. All day. And could they package this with a different label of fruits and florals on it and release it as a summer candle, spring candle? They certainly could. But this is our launching pad. You know, this image is there, and it's so big to evoke those images in your mind of, you know, as someone put a spell on you, right? Screaming Jay Hawkins style. And with this launching pad, this kind of setting the stage, even though this is a very friendly fragrance, this could totally bring you to those fun places, whether it's, you know, real places like Salem, Massachusetts, or it's, I gotta have more examples. Where's other places that are like Salem? I just don't know any other places that have that gothic, realistic sensibility. You know, it's not people in costumes. This is a lifestyle, and it's so cool, and it's so so intriguing and so unique compared to, well, anything that I grew up in. But you know, this is a wonderful companion for something like Hocus, The Craft. I haven't seen those live action Goosebumps films, but if you want to go child friendly, bam. But Halloween candle all year round. This is a great one if you're having a Halloween party and you don't want to burn anything too risky, where you're going to have that person come up to you and be like, you know, I have allergies. I have allergies in that candle. I don't do candles. You know that person. Is it your mom? Maybe it's her dad. Or is it you? You're that person, aren't you? I'm actually that person sometimes. I'll be honest. I can't, migraines, sinus, tension headaches for days. So Spellbound, I'm noticing this does not have a sticker on top. They usually have the top stickers and they place just loose fragrance notes. This actually has quite a few. Fruit, floral, citrus for sure. I don't know why I didn't say that. And not only does it say citrus, but it goes on to say citrus mandarin. And it does say currant. Check it out. Mimosa. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, we all know what mimosa is, right? But let's talk about that, because that's another citrus component. Two different citrus components. Mimosa, orange juice, and sparkling wine. But most higher quality sparkling wine has big time citrus nuances to it, because it's with the natural acids from the grape, but also the added acid perception because of the CO2. CO2 kind of works as an acid in wine, sparkling wines. So citrus, mandarin, currant, mimosa, which is orange juice, and the citrusy nature of sparkling wine. Then we go on to jasmine. Yeah, honestly, for the people who are really skilled, I'll even skip the florals. I don't even know if they would notice. Vanilla. Yeah, because we're talking about a lot of jammy, maybe not jammy, but juicy, citrusy notes, and that vanilla it'll be the cream in the orange creamsicle, right? Orange popsicle's great, but you add that cream and suddenly you have a whole other experience. So that softens everything up, and musk, for sure. So I really think the only thing to point out about the florals is the sweetness and the muskiness. None of the pungent nature that we sometimes associate with florals. I know, florals get a bad rap. I gotta start being nicer to florals. We got more. Let's fix this light. Nah, that's not good. But hey, it's gonna have to work. Can anyone guess the next one on the list? All right, what do we have? We have Madeline, Maria, Leslie, Michelle, Marie, Virginia, Rianne, Morgan, Maggie, Penny, Virginia, Chris, and Chris, Uda, and Hobble Kitty, Stephanie. Okay, I'm starting to recognize your YouTube names. Penny and Omega in the house. How are we all doing? Hobby Lobby in my area are already putting out their fall decorations. I don't know. Let me know if you think I'm onto something here. I think every year it's like, I was going to say global warming, but let's not get in that topic. I feel like every year the season, people want to start celebrating the seasons earlier and earlier and earlier. As we've talked about, discussed, usually as soon as 4th of July is over, people are like, wait, what's next? What's after the 4th of July? Starts thinking about Halloween. That is when Halloween mania begins, especially for you guys, or I should include myself, for the candle folks, because everyone wants to start preparing for Halloween. But I noticed during this, these times, quarantine, I think everyone in some form or fashions is bouting with a little bit of the blues, some depression, nothing to laugh about, but I think, we all have some. And I think when certain sadness, and those blues kick in. You hear like Elvis singing Blue Christmas in the back of your mind, and you just want to cry. I think what that does is it makes us go to our happy place, and not the Dairy Queen, not Queen, but it makes us nostalgic for the holidays. So I think everyone, for weeks, months now, has just been so ready for Halloween, for the fall. I personally, I'm not kidding about this. I sometimes wake up and like I have my routine where I drink my coffee, I go through my phone, answer my emails. I wanted to put on the television like some Christmas, like some good old-fashioned Christmas television specials. Do you guys do that? Think about doing that and then you stop yourself because you're like, wait a minute. Like, I don't want to ruin it when the time actually does come around. Here, I have to admit, I'm falling into that category where I'm yearning. I'm yearning for a little bit of holiday. Oh my God, I didn't even tell you what this is yet. But I needed this, guys. I needed this in my life. This is the time of year where, I'll tell you what it is in a second. Hold on. I don't have the fragrance notes because the sticker's here. I might have to look that up. But this is the time of year I'm always nostalgic, but I get nostalgic for the good old-fashioned family vacations, the Clark W. Griswold style vacations. Only ours were a little bit more peaceful with my family growing up. And what we would do every year, maybe a couple times a year, several times a year, really. But it would be right around now, we would be planning a trip with my brothers and my mom and dad. We'd all get into the car, the vehicle, and head to Lake George, New York. Can you read it? Lake George, New York. And and if you've never been, first watch my videos on Lake George. And we're going back, so there's going to be more content in Lake George. It's going to be one of my first stops when I get it back on the road. But it's just, there's something about these old-timey vacation destinations. Back in the 50s and the 60s, even the 70s. I mean, it's a current day, really. But really, there weren't as many things to do. We didn't have Six Flags, right? We didn't have other amusements. A lot of people couldn't afford to jump on a Disneyland or Disney World in the 70s. So a lot of the folks from the city, New York City or Boston or anywhere in the area, and even folks from Quebec and Montreal, they'd come down, and Lake George was this vacation spot. But these vacation spots are just so much different than what we think about today, like moderns, old-timey attractions, wax museums, putt-putt, mini golf, arcades, and then all of the wonderful things that you enjoy when you're a kid and an adult. The ice creams, the candies, the popcorn, the cotton candy, fireworks every single night. And all of the parks back in the day, there was a Great Escape, now owned by Six Flags, is there, but there were other places to go, little tinier amusements. And I'm saying all of this because when I think about Lake George, I think about the French vanilla waffle cone with, that's it, man. That's all I got. Vanilla ice cream. I don't need no swirls. I don't need no jimmies. I don't need no little sprinkles. I'm a purist. You got to have the cone. Sometimes the cone and the ice cream goes into a dish so I can eat it slowly. And it doesn't drip down your hand, although that's just a wonderful visual image, just seeing people walking around with the ice cream dripping down their hand. I don't know, maybe it's not a good visual image, but with the summer heat, all the ice cream melting, just gets you in the mood to wanting to have an ice cream cone. Now, with all of the ice cream fragrances that are out there, the vanilla fragrances, the French vanillas, the waffle cones, you know, this is a great example of, it's just vanilla ice cream in a cone. That's all it is. The concept doesn't need to be more than that. This is not like, lavender honey gelato, the Yankee Candle, but lavender honey gelato French vanilla waffle cone. No, it doesn't have to be that crazy. This is, oh man, it really brings me to like mini golf. One of the, not in Lake George, but this was actually in Pennsylvania. My aunt would take us to a mini golf course, and there's an ice cream shop inside, as there is in most mini golf places. And they had this ice cream. So if anyone wants to do some research for me, it may have been made by Hershey's, but I'm not sure. If anyone wants to do some research for me, I know it was called Crazy Vanilla Ice Cream. I don't know who made it. I don't know if many companies made it, but it was like a rainbow. It wasn't rainbow. I think it was red, white, and blue vanilla ice cream. And it just was loaded with sugar, and I honestly don't know if I enjoyed it so much because of the color. I honestly don't think it was. It just had more of that vanilla. You know, when you eat the vanilla ice cream, and after a while your tongue's so cold and you're eating the same thing, and there's no palate cleansers. You're not even tasting the ice cream anymore. I don't know. This just never seemed to happen with that ice cream. And this candle a long time ago, and remembering that ice cream specifically, because this could go in a soft serve direction, and there's different types of soft serve. We don't need to talk about that, but there's more of that creamy, rich soft serve ice cream, and there's more of that like ice slurry like soft serve ice cream. But that's not what this is. This is like really rich, dairy rich, big vanilla in an ice cream shop kind of way, not like French vanilla bean, or anything like that. But what about that waffle cone? Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm being really greedy now. First of all, remember, these are Kringle candles are paraffin wax, at least the majority of the wax. So it's not, it's not going to be, just throw as much aromatics as, a softer wax, I would imagine. But I wish the waffle cone was a little bit more present, a little bit more there. But that says really nothing, because when we burn this, that really could shine through. And in the case of a lot of savory candles, like the French vanilla waffle cone aroma, that could become something that's like, okay, put the candle out. Like, I smell it, I get it, put it out. This, I'm guessing, and if it burns, ideally for me, what would happen is it's a constant vanilla. But as you move around, or even if you're just sitting still, every now and then you get that little wave of French vanilla waffle cone just kind of goes by. And it's a constant reminder that it's lingering around, but it's not there on your nose the entire time. This is Vanilla Cone by Kringle Candle. Talk about simplicity in concept, but perfection in execution. I am a big fan. Let me put this on mute. We got a lot of people posting questions for the giveaway at the end of the show. So if you want to participate in these weekly giveaways, some weeks are going to be big, some weeks will be a little bit more modest, but it's a giveaway nonetheless. Swing over to the Facebook, the Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan group, and request to join. And then every Sunday you'll see a post that I'm going live. And under that post, you'll be able to share your question. And by sharing your question, you'll automatically win the giveaway on every show. I was going to pull up the image, but I don't have it in front of me at the moment. French vanilla waffle cone. But I do want to look up the fragrance notes because I am interested, and I hope you are too. Let's see what we have here. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Let's go to Kringle Candle. Maybe it's not in stock, though. What if it's not in stock anymore? Come on now. Where's the search? There it is. You're hiding the search on me. Vanilla cone. There it is. It looks like the large 2-wick 22-ounce jar is no longer in stock, but we do have the next size up, which I'm forgetting the ounces on that. Their description reads as follows: buttery rich. Yes, I would agree with that. Buttery rich, this vanilla adds a sweet gourmand note for extra depth and intrigue. Features are Kringle meat. Okay, that's just about which is 14.5 ounces. Do we have fragrance notes, people? Kringle, what are you doing? Details. Maybe it's scent notes. Sorry. Top notes: butters, plural, butters. I think that's a typo. Butter, caramel, mid notes, homemade waffles, and milk. Base notes: powdered sugar and vanilla. Yeah, yes, of course. The only thing I would say about this, when you talk about, when I talk about cold candles versus warm candles, even though it's always going to put off a warm feeling with the flame, or if you're melting the wax in a warmer, I still, for me, there's a visceral, intuitive thing my brain does where I'm like, ooh, this feels cold or this feels warm. What's interesting about this one is that you're dealing with ice cream and waffles, and those warm hot or warm cold. And I think this will be more of a warm, rich, savory, warm you to the bones kind of fragrance. Won't keep you cool on a warm summer day, but it may just bring those wonderful memories of your mind when you need those nostalgic memories to escape. So interesting. No top label there. And I'll show you a couple images. Why not? There it is. 2 scoops, but those are 2 big scoops. And then we have a little promotional photo. Yeah, come on. And I know for those of you who like chocolate ice cream, tell me that doesn't look good. Tell me you wouldn't take that cone right now, right out of the label, and enjoy that outside right now. I would. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Let us move on. I wish I had more Kringle candles to unbox because they're always so great to talk about. Truly, I just don't like to repeat myself all the time, but, really Kringle to me is just, when it comes to the size candle company, they really dominate when it comes to like their pocket in the industry. Madeline says, I love Kringle labels. It's hard to resist. Penny says, what does Penny say? Rianne, Hocus Pocus is a staple all year. Christmas Vacation, Bad Moms, Christmas, and Christmas Story are my faves any time of the year. I'm all with you there, Penny. Hi Tom, how you doing? Pug Life says Bath and Body Works makes a great pecan waffles. Was that? Tell me if that's the same candle as the pecan praline candle, because that one was amazing. I think it is the same one. And thank you, Omega, for telling me about the lag. I notice it. I'm going to try to do something real quick, but I don't know if it's going to work. This is really becoming an issue. What's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to start actually using an Ethernet cord like in style to make sure that I am getting decent. I mean, I have decent connection, but for some reason, like my computer's not even working hard, but for some reason, it's lagging. Usually happens once in a blue moon, but this is 3 out of the last. Here for a second, but I'll be right back. Okay, I should be back. Let me know if it gets a little bit better, Omega, since you kind of let me know. Let me know if it gets a bit better. All right, let's just keep going. I was really hoping for the best. I'm using a different browser today, and it still looks like it's lagging. You know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. It may not work. All it means is I'm not going to see you guys. Your comments are going to come really late to me. So I'm going to be like 30 seconds behind. And it might not be a problem. Okay, so what I'm opening right now, just in case anyone has seen my Eerie Candle Company unbox brand new collection, a collection that is inspired by the film Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Oh yeah, Clowns from Outer Space. Oh yes, one of those 80s low-budget gems created by the Chiodo brothers. 3 brothers who all made the film Critters, so on and so forth. Well, they made a 9 candle collection. There's 8, but there's 1 limited edition. Well, I'm working with these folks. We're going to be doing several giveaways, several candles. They are, as far as I know, still in stock. They just replenished on Saturday, so make sure you swing over, check out my video, see what these are all about. They're really a hot ticket right now. They're selling out really, really fast. I am currently in the process of filming an edited video for them. It's time since I've made like an 8 candle, highly edited video. I just appreciate candles so much that I told them I have to do it. And they're incredibly kind. So what they did was they sent me this. I'm not quite, not quite sure what it is yet. But this is going to one of you guys. There's a note. Shane, thanks so much for all your efforts and positivity. I love these guys. To see someone just as dedicated to their craft as we are. We really can't be more pleased with the start of this partnership and hope all goes up from here soon. So thank you to show our gratitude. Thanks, and to show our gratitude, we wanted to have one of the prints we included with the limited edition JoJo candle. So that's the limited candle, which we are talking about bringing back. Oh, so that I didn't know that they weren't for sure bringing it back. But that is still up in the air and on the down low. Oops. That means I shouldn't have said it on air. We've also included 3 other prints to include as a giveaway. Wait a minute. I want to show our gratitude, and we wanted to have one of the prints we included Oh, so did they send one for me? Well, that is heartwarming. And I would say, no, 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 thank you. That's too kind. But I really would love one of my own. I'm seriously, they did not tell me they were going to do that. And I guess leave all of these sealed. You can see there's 4 of them. So I thought I was getting one for a giveaway. They sent 4 of these prints. I'm still not quite sure. I think it's a print of the label of the candle, which they designed themselves. So 3 will be a giveaway. This one is which will go into the studio. I just love the packaging. I don't know if Nicole or Stephanie is here. Brett, everyone, if you get a chance, send a little heartwarming to Brett, as in Brett Philly Candleman. He's dealing with a little extra sadness in his life. He's had a recent death in his family, and we just want to make sure here in this wonderful candle enthusiast community that we have that we're always, brother, even if we can't be, you know, actively participating in the fan group or on social media, just send them a quick message. Hey man, we're thinking about you. Hope you're burning a candle. Hope it makes it feel better. Just think about that one message, one little message like that. You know that'll totally make his day and put a smile on his face during a really difficult time. So we are lagging, but hey, it is what it is, right? All right, so I just cut this seal. Really thick black paper here. Oh, oh, oh yeah. All right, I have to get the lighting right on this. Look at that. So this is not only all of the clowns from the film Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but all of these clowns are individual candles. So, like, say for example, I'm forgetting their names. Is he Spike? Yeah, Spike is bubble gum, and Rudy is the banana scream pie, and Slim right here is this crazy, crazy bubble gum flavored candle, and Bibbo here, funnel cake. We got a little, I think his name is Chubby, the Scrumptious Surprise, which is like a kind of a raspberry mousse filled chocolate candy with a little bit of liqueur. Wait, is that Rudy? That's Rudy. Rudy's popcorn, and I'm forgetting his name, but I'm going to call him Tiny. Tiny's the banana, and I'm forgetting his name as well, but he has a kind of a strawberry, even a little bit chocolatey too. You know, like old-fashioned dine milkshake candle. And who name fella? I can't remember, but he is his fragrance is this monstrous blue raspberry, and the limited edition is JoJo, or Clilla was his nickname by the producers of the film, Clownzilla. I don't know what his fragrance is, but it's a limited edition. It's sold out, and I just kind of spilled the beans in that letter. I don't know if they wanted me to share that, but they said it might be coming back. Don't tell on me. Do not rat me out. I was not trying to do anything bad. That's really... Hey, guys, if any chance... you know, Eerie Candle, if you are listening, it's a husband and wife. They're so awesome. They've sent me like their own footage of them making the candles to splice in to the edited video that I'm making, and they're like the cutest couple. You know, like they're really, really putting their heart and soul. They're, you know, I don't know if they're brand new to making candle companies, but Eerie Candle Company is, and you know, I'm kind of having flashbacks when I first met Liz from Witch City Wicks, and when I saw, you know, how passionate she was. They kind of the same bug. So this is what's going to happen. You got to follow me on Instagram, guys. If you're not on Instagram, at the very least, you got to make sure you are a member of the Candle Enthusiast Facebook group, because all of these giveaways, the candles, the prints, I have so much stuff. They sent me 8 more. So these candles are not for me to burn. They're for me to evaluate. I'm going to burn one. I've actually already done it, but a little bit, and then the rest go out to you guys. I have too many candles, so you're gonna want to make sure you close attention to see how you win, see how to win. But if you don't have the patience, swing over to eriecandleco.com, or go see them on Instagram and look at what they got. They have The Craft, you know, the movie The Craft. They have a collection. They have the Universal Monsters collection, you know, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, Dracula, and I smelled the Dracula. It's quite amazing. Really good stuff, and their candles look impeccable. They look so good. I'm going to try something. Let me try something real quick. See if it just came to my mind. Be able to stop this. I'm back. Let's see if that resolves the issue. I'll be so happy if it does. But if it doesn't, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right, we got to keep going here. We got a lot of stuff to cover. And where are you guys? I need to see your comments. Madeline says, "Yikes! Clowns have always seemed so creepy to me." So this is a great thing for me to say, and then we'll switch the topics quick. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm not gonna say the clowns aren't a little creepy, right? But it's not a horror film. There's some blood, but all 80s films have blood. It's essentially a parody, a remake of Steve McQueen, not the musician, but Steve McQueen, the movie star. I don't know what year it was made, but the colorized version of The Blob. You know, this thing comes down from outer space, it infects people, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The Killer Clowns was kind of an homage to the science fiction films of the 50s and the 60s, early 60s. And so it's not that scary. I wouldn't recommend it for kids. Back in the day, you could. I remember my dad let me watch it on HBO. But it's really not something. It's not the kind of creepy clown in the closet thing. You know, they're more like monsters, like fun monsters with clown makeup on. What Eerie Candles doesn't have is scent notes. Hey Shane, maybe you could suggest they add those to their website. I certainly will, but at least for the Killer Clown collection, when that video is done, I was really hoping, guys, to have it done for their restock yesterday, and I was so bummed out that I couldn't. It's just, you know, with everything going on, life is not as chill as it usually is for me, so it's slowing me down. But this week, I'll have that down, and you know, I usually make a little bit of notes, maybe a script before I do one of these videos. I read it, make sure, and I smell the candles again and make sure I agree with what I scripted, and then I take the script, I throw it away, I rehearse it a couple times with the camera not rolling, and then I hit record on all the cameras, and then I just, whatever comes out. But it's usually, that's kind of my process with edited videos. And with the that I made so far, I think I'm not just throwing out notes for the sake of doing it. I'm not saying like, this. I'm really trying to get down to the point because the purpose of making this edited video is that I really want to I want to make this video for you guys, but I really want to, a lot of people are going to find this video who have no idea who I am. So I want to make sure that I'm not just doing the normal candle enthusiast antics. I really want to make sure that I'm to this company and really creating that smell-o-vision. So it's a tool for anyone who's considering to buy. But I will mention to them fragrance notes, because I don't even know what the fragrance notes are. But man, it was so fun to sit down for like 2 hours, writing notes, smelling the candles. So great. The connection looks better right now. All right, so I lessened the quality of the stream. We're going 24 frames instead of 30, and it might look a little bit choppy when I move, but at least it's not lagging. Where do we start from here? Or where do we go from here? Let us talk about Bath & Body Works, because we haven't talked about Bath & Body Works a lot. At the beginning of the year, I told you guys I was going to be burning a lot of Bath & Body Works, and I have, because I've never really talked a lot about Bath & Body Works. So what'll happen is, for almost a month, I was burning them exclusively, and then I started like burning them every other candle. Now I'm burning it like every other 3 candles. But I have some empties, some partials, and I just want to kind of do this quick and true honest to goodness burn experiences. So these aren't evaluations of me going, I smell banana runts. I smell South African elephant plum. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to tell you the performance. Banana cream pie, baby. Let's face it. There's no way of trying to sugarcoat this. You're a banana person or you're not, right? So we start there. If you're a banana person, yeah, step out of the way. I mean, hang out. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, yeah, don't. There is another candle out there. I think it's called Tropical Banana. That's a little bit more of the Runts candy. Sorry, I'm talking candy, but it really does have more of that candified artificial banana peel aroma. But this guy was super savory, crusty, creamy, like, sliced, that smell of sliced medallions of banana that you throw into your breakfast cereal. And, they sit with the oxygen for a little bit and they start getting a little bit more aromatic and the flavor starts changing a little bit. It was a banana heavy, savory heavy candle, quite powerful. I had a lot of these, I started with them. I wanted to start in the smallest place, and I had this in my bedroom and quickly found out that this was too much for my bedroom. I'm trying to think of the dimensions. It is quite small. I'm going to say maybe, let's say 15 by 15. That's not right, but I think that's close enough, with about 9-foot ceilings. And yeah, this was too strong, but that's good. If you really want a strong candle and you have that kind of size room, bingo bango. And if you want a little bit something more delicate and light, bring this out into the living room. Put this, somewhere in the kitchen or an open space so it can kind of spread its wings, take flight. And something I also want to talk about, because I've been learning about these candles, is that I had a very consistent experience all the way through. Now, some of these candles that I will be talking, I did not. Not necessarily as far as intensity goes, but there were some problems. But this one was great. This was an autumn release year. I showed it a couple times. That's why I wanted to start with it. This was another autumn released year, almost ready for the new autumn candles. This was the PB&J. And this, man, if we could crank it up even higher than the last one, right here. This was savory, this was cookie, this was Dunkin' Donuts. Only thing this wasn't for me, the PB&J, was it was PB&J. There's just for me very little to justify inside here that this is a peanut butter and jelly experience. It says on here um, peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter. I get the crunchy part, meaning the no butter part, because I smell like a peanut, like a crushed peanut. That's about it. And they said fresh strawberry jam. And it's the first fragrance note. This is a really good smelling candle, but if you're looking for a peanut butter and jelly candle, just don't expect it. Just think of this being, uh, you went to Dunkin' Donuts, you bought 6 different types of donuts. You put them in that, they put them in a paper bag for you, and you're walking out the door, you drop it, and you step on it, and you spill your coffee all over that bag, and you're like, man, great, just great. You know, to you. Well, my point is, it's like a cornucopia of donuts. There's not one that stands out to me. It smells cakey, it smells yeasty, it smells nutty, it smells chocolatey. It does have a little bit of fruitiness into it. It has that fried smell. It just doesn't smell like peanut butter and jelly. And I would say even a little bit of, like I said, the coffee, because it doesn't smell like coffee, but it's a pretty fun coffee shop aroma candle. Feeling of being in a coffee shop or a donut shop. And the intensity, like we said, I mean, that's pretty high. That's pretty high. The only candle that I've burned that were more intense and spread or throw, it's okay. I'm not going to say it in anger anymore. I'm just going to start saying it because everyone says it. I'm going to start using the word throw, but I'm always going to put it in quotation. It spread, it threw, and yeah. What was the one that was strong? You know what? I think it was the peanut butter and jelly. It was. I don't know. It's been so long. This was like back in January. The peanut butter and jelly was the strong one. All right. Strawberry pound cake. I talked about this like 15 times. Um, yeah. Just like the consistent burn, as far as like I didn't feel any variance at any time. What I did smell that was a variance was the white. Well, this is a white barn jar too, but the other vessel that looks like the more traditional white barn vessel, I smelled it in store, several of them, and it smelled a little bit different. It smelled a little bit different, and it was a pink wax, so maybe that had something to do with it. It was constructed differently. I think the only thing about this candle, and I'm being brutally honest here, because I would buy this again, the strawberry pound, is that one, it should be called strawberry shortcake, and two, what was two? There's something savory in it that smells good, but after a while, you know what? My brain is not being fooled. Like, there's something artificial about this. Like, it's like you can smell a scratch and sniff sticker and be like, it smells like green apple. But if you smell it all day, eventually you're gonna be like, I think, I think this sticker is an imposter. This sticker is not truly an apple. Your brain is gonna, there's something not quite right. But it was, it's a, it's both a novelty. It really is savory. It lived up to its potential in every way. But like I said, I'm trying to be brutally honest for those of you who are looking for uh, very strongly opinion statements. Georgia Peach, just this one was old, 2017. I couldn't bring myself to burn it because I loved so much the juicy quality of this peach, like peach schnapps. I think that's what really makes this different than like any other peach candle that I've smelled by the popular companies. That the Georgia Peach, which is still, I think it's still currently available in Bath and Body Works. Um, was that it goes from authentic peach juice to the skin to even to the pit, but then it goes beyond. It goes into like an art of lip balm, right? Like, I don't know how else to say it, or like peach candy, like there's an artificial nature to it. And further, and it gets into this concentrated, very fragrant, fruity, and um, inherent in a peach, but floral, fragrant skin of a peach. Uh, and when I smelled that, I think of the peach schnapps, like the fuzzy navel. And so it was so pretty. I burned it. It smelled great, but the intensity was not something I was for a candle that's 3 wicks, 3 wicks, wide diameter, softer, small space. It was just not. It wasn't enough for me, and that's saying a lot. But there were times during the burn, I'm like, whoa, whoa, peach, I'm getting it more. I'm getting it more. So to do with the age of the candle, maybe it was a bad pour. I can't say for sure. I do not know this company enough. Just trying to be as honest as I can. Blueberry pie. Everyone, maybe not everyone. People had this candle. There was a promotion on it a long time ago. I got it back in March. Break these wicks now before they get in my wax. I mean, it's so real and so over top that it, even if you don't like blueberries, blueberry pie, blueberry muffins, how could you not though? Unless you're allergic. I mean, this is fun. This is fun. This is novelty, but it's also a really well made candle. And that jar, it comes in different jars. This jar is beautiful. It looks like syrup has dripped out of some kind of pastry and it just kind of puddled on the bottom of the candle. It's just the glass, but it is. It's blueberry. It's a blueberry candle times 5. And yes, it can be too much. There can be a point when it's too much, and it's not something I don't think you're going to be burning for hours in a small place because you're going to start really hating blueberries fast. But if you got a large space, or if you want to burn it for a short period of time, go for it. And the intensity, I would say Bath and Body Works was about a medium. My rating is low plus, low plus, and so on and so forth. Salted chocolate, caramel. These, I'm starting to get these blended together. This it's really quite simple. I mean, for me to express this. Toblerone bar. Okay, so think of a Toblerone bar. Assuming it's an original Toblerone bar and there's nothing wacky about it. Swiss chocolate, milk chocolate, sea salt, toffee, nuttiness. Is there nougat? There's nougat. Maybe there's nougat and no toffee. I don't know. But yeah, there's that really salty, slightly more cooked caramel, which is toffee, and that sweet almond paste, nougat, not Snickers, not the stretchy kind. We're talking about real nougat. It's Italian, right? Nougat, yeah, like Tyrone, the really brittle, hard, chewy stuff. Egg whites, egg whites. What else is it? Tons of sugar and almonds. That's all it is. It's a paste. And this one started to do something that I'm going to be talking about with a few other of these. After about halfway through, keep in mind, I burn my candles try to do my best, right? I really keep a close eye on them. I babysit them. If I do something wrong, I try not to do it again. It's getting a little bit too, I'm going to use this word, burnt, for me. It smelled burnt. It smelled like burnt. Like someone took like a, well, what is this? The salted caramel. So like someone took a piece of burnt sugar and threw it into the candle. But it wasn't that bad. But that's going to come up again. So we'll keep moving. This candle I purchased and I wanted to buy it. Or excuse me, I purchased it in 2017. I wanted to burn it, but I actually gave it away or had a eBay auction to raise money for the candle enthusiast. This was, I talked about this too, cinnamon sugar donut. I don't think I talked about this after I burned it. And man, oh man, sticky buns, TJ Cinnamons, Cinnabon, even like Entenmann's. Come on, we've all done it. The Entenmann's in the box, you know. It's just that perfect food when you just want to eat with all of your emotions. All of your emotions. You just want to like, yeah, I'm doing it. And you just don't even care anymore. Really nice expression of cinnamon because there's a cinnamon that feels like it's into the pastry, but there also feels like someone took some freshly ground cinnamon and just kind of sprinkled it on top. And that's actually quite nice because with all of that cinnamon, it still doesn't get too spicy. It's doughy, it's yeasty, it's cakey. Cakey in cakey in that like the dough is crispy, crunchy outside, but still like kind of raw inside, and glaze for days. Okay, this one got a little bit burnt too. Burnt. Tell me, Bath and Body Works aficionados, I need your help. What's going on with this burnt thing? I'm trimming the wicks. I'm not burning the candles too long. Being very careful. There's not too much or too little oxygen. Making sure that there's no debris falling into my candles. Although this one does look dirty. Let's see if you can get a view of that. I have like backlighting here and it's hard for me to see. You see how those wicks look like they've been cut? They're all fringed at the end. I had a problem. Puny wicks, as some might say. Puny wicks is when the wick burns. It's not the wick's fault, but let's just pretend for now. The wick burns too quick for the wax to turn into vapor. So what ends up happening is your wicks get really small, and they're just like puttering, and then finally one goes out, and then the second one goes out. And it's like impossible to fix. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, how can I fix this problem? Because this was the second time with Bath and Body Works that I was dealing with these puny wicks. I'm like, what can I do? And I said, well, you know, I thought about different kinds of wicks. Certain wicks blossom or bloom or mushroom when you burn them. A lot of Bath and Body Works, they kind of open up. They get kind of ugly looking. And sometimes the debris can fall into the wax. Do that purposely. They're designed to do that because that's going to allow more oxygen flow in through the wick. So, but also, well, not also, but what that will cause is the flame to get a little bit more robust. It'll cause a little bit more heat, and more heat is what this needed because if it had more heat, more of the wax would volatilize, and the wick sinking deep into beneath the pool. So I took a surgical scissors. I actually didn't take surgical scissors, but I actually purchased some surgical scissors just in case this ever happens again. And I'm going to put it with all my candle tools. And I just snipped the wicks, just like, you know, a snake's tongue. I snipped it right in half. And I pulled them apart, right? Just like that. So in many ways, I'm creating my own little mushroom effect with this wick. And guess what? Burned beautifully. After that, not a single problem. And then it happened to me again with a different candle. Did it again. It worked. So I still need to put this into practice a little bit more. But if you want to try this, because I know people get so frustrated to the point where they're like, I'm just going to cut this up into cubes and throw it into my warmer. And I'm like, no, don't do it. It's a candle. You can't do it. You can't do that to a candle. Try getting a really sharp pair of thin scissors, cutting that wick in half. Be careful you don't cut it completely. Don't sever it. Just slit it down the middle. Pull it apart so, you know, that flame gets a little bit bigger. It'll create more heat. The wax will get hotter. It'll melt. It'll volatilize. And hopefully it'll fit. But this one probably had that burnt smell the most. And another thing is, I'm not the only one who said that. There's several people who've come to me and said that this one smelled burnt to them. Is this, I was wondering, is this something that this candle was supposed to have? But then when I started smelling it on other candles, I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right. All right, here's one I just finished. Well, I didn't finish it. I just wanted to leave a little bit in there. I blew it out prematurely because I just wanted to make sure I have a little bit of wax in these so I can go back to them and reference them at later dates. And although it's called white caramel cold brew as in a very slowly brewed cold method of a coffee brewing method that cool temperatures. We all know what cold brew is. Cold brew is not iced coffee. Let's keep that in mind. Cold brew actually prevents most of the acidity being extracted from the beans. So, you know, when a cup of coffee gets cold on you, cold coffee, it's gross. But cold brew tastes great. It's the acidity in coffee that doesn't taste quite right when it gets cold. Anyway, white caramel, I'll be honest, have no idea what it is. If I had to guess, it's just some extra cream, lard, some kind of fat maybe added to it to give it more of a chewy effect. But with all that, this smelled like, I loved it. I loved it. But this is butterscotch. It's butterscotch, you know. You put cold brew on a coffee. Some of you, and you know who you are, some of you know how excited I'm going to get. I'm like, cold brew and white caramel? I don't even care if I know what white caramel is. I mean, this candle sold itself before I smelled it. But when I did smell it in the store, I'm like, wow, that smells a lot like butterscotch. It's like if you took toffee, butterscotch, Werther's caramel candies, some nutty-based coffee creamers. You put it into a bowl, or you throw it into a blender. You blend it all up. Maybe melt it, turn it into a syrup right here. So very good candle. Nice intensity. It's funny, I was up in my attic. I was looking for some stuff. And I'm like, wow, you know, it actually smells really delicious up here. Where's my candle from? Made it all the way up deep into my attic. I don't know how. Well, I do. You know, warm air rises, but so just keep that in mind. You know, if you're buying that because of coffee, but if you're buying it because of the white caramel part of then, and if you're okay with butterscotch, go with that candle. All right, so the next two that I burned are online exclusives. I filmed videos on these for the purpose of editing. I just wasn't having. I was just on one of those days. I just kept stumbling on my words. I actually switched up two of these candles. Yeah, I switched up this one, which I'll tell you the name of in a second, and the salted caramel, chocolate caramel, and I'm like, wait a minute, these don't smell anything like I remember. I just wasn't having a good day. So those never got finished. Yeah, okay. It's funny with online exclusives. Sometimes don't understand what the purpose is. You would think online exclusives would be candles that they don't want people to smell in store, right? This is called Chocolate Marshmallow Cloud, and that is a really fun looking label. Of course, clouds, and looks like, you know, nice big hunks of chocolate that you break apart. It's got a caramel background, and I mean, how can this be that much different from the salted caramel chocolate? Start with the chocolate. Hot fudge, baby. Yeah, hot fudge. And I'm not talking about like fudge. I'm talking about hot ice cream shop, summertime, drive up, walk up to the window, and they're like, would you like any hot fudge on that? Did you have to ask? Yes, I want hot fudge on that. And you know what? Put some peanuts on it too, because this is crunchy. Not peanut butter, but this is crunchy peanut. There is a salty, buttery, crunchy, roasted peanut, maybe a little bit like one of those sugar crusted or honey roasted peanuts, with that dark chocolate. Now there's another kind of chocolate in here that it's always a weird topic when it comes to chocolate, because I need to do my research. I don't even know if it really is chocolate. What is a Tootsie Roll? One, is it made of chocolate? Two, does it smell or taste like chocolate? We're told that it's chocolate growing up, so we're like, okay, chocolate. But really, if Tootsie Rolls weren't like chocolate colored, and let's say they were yellow, would we associate that flavor with chocolate? Maybe we would, but I don't know. It's a weird category of chocolate. And I get that. You know, there's a taffiness to this chocolate. And that's going to bridge what's happening next. Marshmallow. Marshmallow. Talk about fluffy. But this isn't camping marshmallows. This isn't Lucky Charms. This is Ice Cream Social marshmallow swirl. I would never put, I mean, I should rephrase. I don't go to ice cream socials anymore. That's something I did in elementary school. But in elementary school, I would never have put marshmallow on my sundae. But maybe I should have. It's just, it adds to the sticky goodness in this candle, you know? If that salted caramel or these names drive me nuts. Salted chocolate caramel. Let's say if you want to go ganache, you want to, you're foodie, you want to like put on your high heels and a little black dress while you're burning a candle, or if you want to put on, like your nicer shirt or deck out in your suit. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that is an adult. More of an adult-driven chocolate salty experience, foodie, experience. Where this is like kids involved. The kids need a treat. They've been studying their homework, schoolwork over the computer for the past month plus. They need a break. They need to go out and they need to get something, a nice tasty treat. And this is super kid friendly. And I said hot fudge. I said Tootsie Roll. I said marshmallow. I said a salty, buttery, or even kind of a sugar roasted peanut or honey roasted peanut. Add all those things together. What do we get? Rocky Road. Yes, Rocky Road. This smells like Rocky Road ice cream. And it's kind of, after smelling this, renewed my love for Rocky Road. I don't think I liked it growing up. There was the flavor combo, I think it was the saltiness and the marshmallow I just didn't like. But man, if anyone wants to dish up some Rocky Road ice cream right now, I gladly have some. Chocolate Marshmallow Cloud by Bath and Body Works, online exclusive. I have no idea if these are still available, but definitely look them up because this was really fun. Not as fun, but probably not as fun as the blueberry pie, but this is probably something you can burn a lot longer without getting tired of it. So take that for what you will. Now, we got one more Bath and Body Works candle. This was an online exclusive as well. Peach Sugar Cone. I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm always looking for peach candles. The Georgia peach, you know, I love that one. I will openly admit that you guys know where my heart goes, or where my heart is when it comes to Yankee Candle. Yankee Candle's had several peach or at least stone fruit fragrances. Well, stone fruit fragrances recently, like the grilled peach, the sun. Was it grilled peach? I think it was grilled nectar. I can't remember. But then there was the sun-drenched apricot rose. Yes. There was that one, and then Juicy Peach was retired in 2015, and then there was Fresh Peach. I'll be honest, all of them just didn't have the intensity. Some candles, I believe it or not, I do want high intensity, and it just seems to be peach candles, at least from my experience, don't. There's something about the makeup, if it's the fragrance oil, but I can't get a big peach, or even if it's nectarine or apricot, like a stone fruit. I can't get an explosion of it. And so I want to preface that before we jump into this peach sugar cone. It's so nice. It's like I'm trying to say this without sounding creepy. I really am. But like this is like, you know, how do I say this without sounding creepy? Okay. Okay, imagine if there was a store for babies, maybe little girls, right? And they had like, little girl, lip balms that smelled like, fruity stuff and little perfumes and stuff. I know this sound about little girl paraphernalia. But my point is, it feels like you're walking. It doesn't smell like a baby. It doesn't smell like a child. Because let's face it, children smell gross from time to time. I'm not bashing the children, but let's face it, they don't smell the greatest. But what you associate with the kids, like maybe okay, this is good, like baby shampoo and the soaps, right? Or the mouthwash. I don't know where I'm going with this, but my point is, this smells like a heavenly little angel, like a little girl, sweetest little thing on earth. And it smells like all of her candy, and it smells like her shampoo, but it smells like. Okay, I'll be easier. I gotta go easy. It doesn't smell like a peach. It smells like a peach, but it's peach sugar cone. Where's the peach? There's no peach. At most, we're dealing with like a Yoplait or Dannon's yogurt flavored ice cream, right? You get the chunks in there of the peach, but you cut that with just Greek yogurt. So there's peach in there somewhere, but it's more of a peaches and cream or a peach sherbet, which is not, peach sherbet is not like an authentic peach, not peach sorbet, peach sherbet. And it's the creaminess of this is. Yeah, okay, so let's keep going there. Let's just build it from the top up. You take that peach yogurt and we mix it with whipped cream. So we do get this fluffy dairy whipped cream. It of sweetness, but there's also perception of, this is vague. And what is it? It's a cone. Sugar cone. So I know sugar cookie and I know French vanilla cone. Sugar cone. What's a sugar cone? It smells a lot like sugar, meaning it doesn't smell. It smells like a perceived, but it doesn't smell too savory. And at the bottom, there's kind of what's a good cookie? Like a crumbly cookie, like a pecan praline. You know, the crispy, crunchy, like the texture of a Chip Ahoy. What are those kind of cookies called? I'm drawing a blank right now. We could even say like vanilla wafer cookies. But, you know, there's a butter component, there's a salt component, there's a vanilla extract component, and there's an overall sense of, ooh, there's cookie or maybe a little bit of cake in here. It's a really nice fragrance. It is certainly in the ballpark of a medium minus or a light plus intensity when it burns. But the peach really just through and through gets lost. But here's the thing: if you think I'm being too critical, I'm not. I think I'm learning is what the thing is. What I'm getting from, we're now on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're on 10 I've noticed, or I've burned, and what I'm noticing is that the names they take a lot of liberties. You know, the name is to cook, but it's not necessarily what the candle smells like. And you know what? If that's what Bath and Body Works does, and if that's what they do, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just not used to that. At least not with like a majority of the candles. So peach, would I buy it again? I wouldn't buy it again. I would recommend people buy it because it really is, it does smell good. It smells like a little girl's birthday party. I think maybe that's what I should have said from the beginning. A little girl's birthday party. The cake, the cake with the strawberries on top and whipped cream and sherbet and cookies. That's what I should have said. I shouldn't have been talking about walking into a little girl's store. I swear, it's only a matter of time before people say, you know, something's going on with that guy, Shane, you know. He says the creepiest things. And just for the head, here's 3 that I haven't burned yet. Palo Santo. Based on just everyone wanted me to talk about this candle. Ooh, beautiful. But I am going to need to find, just in case this is a big, powerful candle, I'm going to need space than my bedroom, because that is musky. It's musky. It's like cologne, perfume together. It's come to, you know, it's like it's taking its kind of taking on its own life. It's sad because I was going to say the lilac tree right here that when the wind blows pulls in that beautiful smell, but the blossoms are already all gone. But I picked up pink, lilac, and vanilla. I figured, oh, woo. Yeah, I mean, that's like, what is it, the lavender marshmallow? Yeah, it's like that, only with the lilac instead of the lavender. That is I mean, that's actually so vanilla forward that's actually smells yummy. Lilac is still really strong. I figured I'd burn this, and if it was too powerful for me, well, I would evaluate it, but then my mother loves, I figured, you know, if I couldn't finish it, I could at least give it to the mother, the mom. And this one, I don't want to take it out. I love the way it looks. The Saltwater Breeze candle, I'll take it out. the saltwater breeze candle came out a while ago. No one had talked about it. I loved it. I loved the smell of it. I don't know if I'd love to burn it. And the tumbler looked so amazing. Come on. Why tell me this. Why was every Bath and Body Works fan not talking about this candle? Like, how is this not a topic of discussion? Just the look of it. We have uh, uh, I'm just gonna go with a brass brushed lid that works. This iridescent label that kind of makes you feel like you're Ariel, Little Mermaid. You're floating under the water, and can you see these rainbow effects, like the prisms? Like, I'm not doing that. That's just natural light shining off the label, and that that is heavenly. I said this not too long ago. I love them. I love, don't get me wrong, I love aquatic, beach, maritime fragrances, lakeside fragrances, but usually they utilize a lot of ingredients that, that I just can't really burn. But I still buy them because, I love to just pick them up off the shelf and smell them. But this one, although it has that strong freesia lemon smell, although it has like those tall blades of grass that are like so pungent when you're walking around like a lagoon like area, when you just have like tons of greenage vegetation growing around you. Lilies all over the place. Water lilies, right? They're outside of all that. There's a little bit of this ozone thing too, like kind of like this chlorinated air, fresh, clean air. There's a saltiness, and what happens is that green note with the saltiness. I'm noticing how it's in my brain how it's working. It's making it feel, that combination is making me think like, oh, this is not by the ocean, this is by the lagoon. Like this is that little hidden space tucked away above the tall trees in the shade, the little water, the jungle cruise. Even though that wouldn't be a lagoon, but when you're in Disneyland, you're going through the jungle cruise, you just have this sense of magic and the fairies from Peter Pan. And whether it's the florals or not, it's fruity too. What else is going on? Fresh linen. So fresh linen is going to be like the lavender and the citrus. Violet leaves, that's going to be the sweetness. So maybe not so much fruit in here, but definitely a sweetness, a floral sweetness. White water blossom. White water blossom. That would be a lily, would it not? Great. I'm glad I kind of called that. I cannot believe it doesn't say anything about salt. It smells salty, and it all smells like suntan lotion, a little bit of copper top, so meaning, getting a little bit of those insect repellent essential oils. So it's an herbal quality that gives suntan lotion, some of the suntan lotion, their smells. It could be citronella, it could be rosemary, it could be patchouli, it could be a lot of things. But that candle was impressive. Maybe people have talked about it. I don't know. Has anyone burned it? And you guys still with me here? Can you make a t-shirt? How is this not a topic of discussion? Shane 2020. Shane 2020. What would Shane 2020? I like it. What do we suggest? We need Shane for 2020? Or are you just saying it to me? Can you make a t-shirt? How is this not a topic of discussion? Or are you just asking if we make tons of t-shirts, tons of candle enthusiast merchandise. So you're going to find the links in all of my videos, but shop.spreadshirt.com/thecandleenthusiast. That'll bring you to all of the designs. You can customize shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs. We have face masks now. If you want to keep yourself safe but still show your true colors. Big logo, Candle Enthusiast on the face. All of that stuff is available. And what's great about Spreadshirt is they have fantastic customer service. If you ever have a problem, I type anything to you, they print it, they send it to you. They're based in Los Angeles. They job. They pretty much, at least 50% of YouTubers use Spreadshirt to create t-shirts through this company. Controversially, I do not care for Kringle Blue Spruce. How dare you, Pug Life? I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong with that. We are all a bit different. Trick or treat. What do you like about it? Trick or treat. Last year's Yankee Candle trick or treat. How much does the container influence purchase? Do you all go ahead and buy a candle for the container, even if the scent or the burn are borderline acceptable? So by container, do you mean the vessel or the label? I'm assuming you mean label. Like if it's a great presentation, I'll be honest, if Yankee Candle made a really, really, really awesome looking candle, but I didn't care for the scent, yeah, I'd buy it. Why? I think what it comes down to is if you're a collector as well as a candle burner. A lot of candle burners, they're not collectors. They buy to burn, like wine. Like wine. It really is drawing comparisons, but it's true. A lot of people buy wine. What do they do with it? They bring it home. They drink it. But a lot of people don't collect wine. But some people really like more than they should. So and it's the same thing with candles. I think it's if you're prone to collecting, because candles are something that you kind of like to put a collection up on your shelf, and you're like, yeah, like look at that. That was the 2016 Yankee Candle Collection limited edition with little glitter snowflakes and luster in the wax. Yeah, those things sold out quick. If you're that kind of person, yeah, I think a lot of people will do that. I do. I try not to these days. And if you're talking about the actual vessel, I did a little demonstration a couple lives ago. I'll hopefully do it again. The difference between what role does the size and the shape of the vessel play in the performance of the candle? I don't have tons of information to say on that, but I have enough to make it interesting. And thanks so much for reminding everyone for the thumbs up. The thumbs up is really helpful. You know, I say that all the time, but let me just quickly just say, because YouTubers say it all the time, like hit thumbs up. You know, it really does mean a lot. Why does it mean a lot? Because the most time a video that's posted on YouTube is the first 12 hours it's posted. So having those thumbs up tells through the algorithm that YouTube is constantly changing and keeps secret. But it's a variable, right? The more thumbs up the video gets in the beginning, the more they're going to suggest it to other viewers. So having those thumbs up doesn't give me more money. YouTube just doesn't work that way unless you have 1 million subscribers. But what it does is it helps other viewers who would enjoy kind of content find me. So it helps the community get bigger, which hopefully would provoke more people to more videos, get more views, and then maybe they'll watch some of the other videos that I watch. And yeah, those thumbs up, all of your thumbs up got me, got me where I am. Otherwise, I'd probably still have 10 subscribers. All right, so the question is, where do we go from here? I have so many things to talk about. I really do. I have still a whole table full of. Today was supposed to be a nice, relaxing day. Rianne says Spreadshirt is so nice. I got a shirt of Eric's. Eric is my brother. I think already for 3 years she's had it, and the print is still good. So Rianne had a Spreadshirt shirt, and I can kind of testify to this too. Going 3 years, and the paint is still good. I think the best thing to recommend for that is just to spend a couple extra dollars. Don't worry, it goes to Spreadshirt. Spend a couple extra dollars and get the premium shirt. Those things are like, it's like wearing velvet, like George Costanza, you know? All right, so let us continue. How many times have I said that already? Quite a few. All right. We're gonna have to pick and choose here, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Other things that I burned. Okay. Let's try to mix it up and get random. Let's get random. I did an unboxing recently of a Village Candle. I know this lighting is outrageous, guys. And trust me, it probably bothers me, bothers you. I did an unboxing. Village Candle, they really are nice folks. I've been working with them on and off for 2 years, and I sent them an email. I'm like, look, I want to give some candles away during COVID, and I just need candles to talk about for these live streams. And I was like, is there anything you could do? And I just to commend them, I sent kind of the same email to a couple candle companies, and candle companies that I've worked with before, right? Like, I'm not just emailing random people. And they contacted immediately. They're like, yeah, what do you want? What do you need? When do you need it? So I'm like, look, just send me like 4 candles. And we gave one away. The French macaroon was taken, so I burned this one. The other 2 will be given away. That is coming up this week. One of the other 2 Village Candle give coming this week, but I wanted to burn one so I could talk about it. This is whew, man, that's so hard to read. Ginger Pear Fizz. Go back to the Village video, a couple videos back, and take a look at it if you can't see it, and to get my full in-depth breakdown. But it is a beautiful tree fruit Bartlett pear experience. It's juicy. It really does capture the skin of a pear nicely. It's got an herbal quality. It has that freshly sliced ginger aroma. It has a little bit of this perceived effervescence, like say like lemon flavored sparkling water. It was you see this thing, like, I put a huge dent in this candle. However, I burned this thing to death, man. I burned and burned. I can't tell you how many times I've lit this candle. I don't know what it is about Village Candles. Yankee Candles, they truly last a long time if you burn them right. But Village Candles, man, I'm telling you, I feel like I've been missing out for years, because I'm not gonna lie. 4 or 5 years ago, I just assumed Village, maybe not, actually probably sooner than that, maybe 3 years. I don't think it's more than 2 years, because I've been with them more than 2 years. But I always, just associated Village Candle with like a knockoff Yankee Candle Company. That's not my perception anymore. Are the concepts as wild and New England forward as Yankee Candle? No. Do a lot of them kind of just like, a lot of them, are they safe? Like apple pie, pumpkin spice, tropical coconut. I don't even know if these are real names. They do play, a large portion of their collection are safe. Are they really complex. Like, could I talk about like this as long as I could, a candle. I'm not looking at a complex candle right now. Let me grab this one. Like this candle, Witch City Wicks, Salem. No, because it's not really telling a story. There really is probably only a few fragrances in here. I mean, it just says fresh ginger, pear, and fizzy citrus. But that doesn't mean a few ingredients is bad. You know, you don't need complexity all of the time. Sometimes just having a really good expression of just a few things is better than a poor expression of 100 things, or even a great expression of 100 things. Sometimes to really get that pear and have it unadulterated, to really get that combination of the lemon and the ginger, that's really nice. So if you're a big pear fan, this is on sale. Village Candle, $15.99. Not sponsored. They're not paying me to say that, but this one is on. And it comes in the limited edition aluminum lid that you can't find in. And it was medium intensity for this kind of candle, a paraffin 22, approximately 22. Sometimes these are a little bit more, sometimes they're a little bit less. This was really good. The 2 wicks and these guys really make them burn cleanly. For $15 for as much entertainment and joy candle, you can't ask for more. $15, you can't even buy a movie ticket for $15. You can't even buy a movie ticket at all these days. So for $15, I've been burning this on and off for like a week. We have salted caramel latte that most likely the giveaway will be this week. Again, Facebook enthusiast Facebook group. Just go over, type it in, request to join, and be on your best behavior, because we're a very positive place over at the Candle Enthusiast. We want to support people's enthusiasm and let people feel free to share and what they enjoy, and hopefully learn from everyone's different background. It's amazing how great of a place it is. I'm always selling it, the Candle Enthusiast Facebook group, not because it's about me. I'm always selling it because I truly enjoy it. So go over there. This way you can get all the details about the giveaways, and of course things that are even more important, up-to-date information on releases on candles, especially this time of year with autumn candles coming out and potentially Halloween concepts for Yankee Candle, Kringle Candle. All those things are going to start leaking hopefully really soon. So if you want to really be up to date with news, it's one of the most reliable places for up news and coupons and sales and all that stuff. So, Honey Lavender Gelato. This was an old one. This was 2000. Help me out. 17 Yankee Candle. This is a 2019 pour, though. I don't know why I bought it, but I love it. Lavender. Who would have thought? Lavender is so delicious. Lavender. A lot of people say I don't like lavender. I can almost guarantee that 50% of the people who say I don't like lavender in candles, it's not the lavender it's some of the other ingredients, like the other florals, the strong citrus, the strong wood notes, the resin notes sometimes, like amber, things like that. Even more like cologne-driven fragrances, like sandalwood. Because lavender, especially a dried lavender smell, smells like candy. I mean it, like floral candy. It's so sweet and delicious. Okay, we're gonna skip a bunch. This is something I want to show you guys. So I did a whole video on this years ago. Angel's Wings, retired. I have a feeling it's maybe going to come back. If not this year, it's got to be next year. Angel's Wings, returning classics, returning favorites, treasures, whatever they're calling them now. I got my Mary Tyler Moore custom label on this on my main channel, the Candle Enthusiast. You'll understand why I did that. But this is a very important candle to me. and um, I was looking for a while to see when that candle actually really came out, because I can't remember. I don't even remember it coming out. But if it did come out and they promoted it in a certain collection, usually there's at least one accessory that goes with it. And I looked up on eBay and I looked on like older Yankee Candle catalogs. I couldn't find anything other than like, just they're beautiful, but angels like holders. And there's a lot of angel. There's sparkling angel. There's Song of the Angel. There's angel. What do they call it? Snow angels. There's a lot of um, Yankees out there. But then I found this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and I finally got focus, and it went away. Come on, focus. Come on. Grant me one focus. Let the angels sing. It's not gonna happen. Oh, oh. I mean, this thing is like, okay, let's face it. We know these things are made of cheap metal, right? But this is like plated with the shiniest. I'm really trying to milk this, but it really does. Look at how it's just reflecting the light here off of that. Super shiny. I mean, I don't really even see angel on here. And you're probably asking me why this would be, or how do I know this is an angel's wing accessory? I'll tell you in a second, but yeah, like this is just fun. I'm specifically because that candle means a lot to me. This was the Alumalid for that jar, brand new, never used. It's still got the little twist ties, but the UPC code. And why do I think I'm going to get a focus on that? Will it? Will it? Yes. Read it. The bottom line. JT Uma Angels. It doesn't say angels, it says angel wings. P4. Yes. Yes. Angel wings. P4. I don't know what that stands for. I know we have some Yankee Candle employees or post employees in the house. So let us know if you know what that means. But I just figured a great display piece. I would never use that. I have a bunch of like old Yankee Candle matchbooks. I have old Yankee Candle signs. I just figured at some point when I make a display, or I can get one of those. You ever see the little tripods, the little easels that you put the little decorative plates on? Maybe I can get a little one. I have some. I can put that on it. And when I put that candle during Christmas while I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life, I wanted to show that. I got that a while ago, and it's been sitting in the studio. Really, I have no one else to show it to other than you guys. Because guess what? If I called my brother up and I'm like, Eric, you'll never believe what I just purchased on eBay. You know that candle, Angel's Wings? I'd be like, yeah, I remember that candle. You made that video. Like, yeah, I made that video. I spent 4 days making a video on a candle. I traveled miles, actually not that many miles, but it was 3.5 hour drive each way with a lot of stops. So if I said to Eric, I'm like, yeah, I bought an Alumalid that was made specifically for that candle. Aren't you excited? I don't think he would have as much enthusiasm about it as I would. All right, we're gonna do a little shift of the camera here. Some flare is nice. That wasn't. That was too much. What else? Sweet Seduction. I had a gentleman, I forget the moment. He just sent me an Instagram message, which maybe you want to follow me on Instagram. Maybe. I don't know. I'd like a little bit more Instagram presence, but he did direct message, said, I found a good deal on 2 Sweet Seductions. I think it's a good deal. He gave me the price offering. He's like, it's like, tell me, what is a candle like? Is it candy corn or is it something else? He never burned it, and so we had a discussion about it. But it inspired me to take out one of mine because I bought 4 of these the day before it came out, and I gave it a couple shots. I burned it once because it was already burned, and I didn't get much. I didn't get much aroma. I'll be honest. I didn't get much aroma, but usually that can happen. Sometimes that top cap after you've burned it, that top cap can just really be empty of fragrance oil. So it's important that when you go back to a candle, if it's not smelling for a while, give it some time. Let those little bubbles start to come up we'll see the little bubbles popping up from the surface of the wax. That's the fragrance oil coming to the surface. So I did start to perform a lot better, but even though I burned this candle before, in the jar form and not the softer wax. This came in a tumbler 2 years ago. 3 different tumblers it came in 2 years ago, believe it or not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this. It's just the candy corn fragrance has always been tough. I would on many occasions like burn 4 Yankee Candle candy corn fragrance or candy corn candles at the same time. And just to really spread the candles out all over the place, just to really get it going. And I've said this before, but it was a Trick or Treat candle by Yankee Candle, which was the swirl of candy corn and buttercream that I always like better, because the buttercream, it would at least give us that punch of sweet confection, and you would still get that sense of candy corn. But without the buttercream, it's always a subtlety. And every now and then you do get lucky. You do. Like if you take a tart or even a votive sometimes, you're like, whoa, this is actually really performing well. Even for me, I do a lot of trial and error when it comes to especially Yankee Candles. I've always had difficulty with candy corn. To me, the real reason I think they decided to get rid of it. But I'm sure they are going to bring it back again. I just hope when they do, they can get it a little bit, because if it's too light for me, it's most likely going to be too light for everybody. A little bit more Bath and Body Works, Vanilla Bean, Vanilla Stage, going through Vanilla Stage, and this was fun. This is the single wick guy, but oh yeah, that's that classic Bath and Body. Like I remember Bath and Body Works. Like when Bath and Body Works first came, I think, as long as Bath and Body Works opened in like the mid 90s, 94, 95, 96, I remember when it first came out, and I remember what the French vanilla bean fragrances smelled like. It's burned in my head, because you'd go with groups of kids from school after school, and you're going there, and the girls would take you into Bath and Body Works, and you're like, ooh, what am I supposed to be doing in here? It wasn't a lot of candles back in those days. It was just like Bath and Body products, right? I was afraid my brothers were going to see me. But then I'd start smelling the stuff that they would spray on themselves. And Winnie Cooper and Kevin Arnold thing, I just have those sensory memories of coming of age and remembering what the vanilla of Bath and Body Works of the olden days smelled like. We have a here. Yes, man. As much as I love lavender, I think I'm starting to love it. And I've said it already, but they have that lavender marshmallow that I know was really popular. I love that one too. I think it's all about making sure the lavender has enough citrus to keep it bright and to make enough sweetness in the candle So you have the tart, you have the sweet, you have the floral. It makes it seem tasty, and then you give it another punch of something, whether it's marshmallow, whether it's vanilla, whether it's honey, whether it's something sweet, anything sweet to complement it. I have a feeling lavender, maybe this is a bold statement. I think it's going to become more and more popular. I'm going to do Witch City Wicks videos. Since I've been doing like showing parts of my collections, I'm like, I got to just keep going. And I have a whole shelf devoted to Witch City Wicks that pretty much spans just about every fragrance they've ever made, except for you know, like their main line. Because Liz, you know, she gives me a lot of these candles and I burn them, but a lot of them I'm so like I can't, like, if I know for limited time, this is not one that's limited time. This is like their staple candle, Salem. Excellent. This is like walking through a graveyard that happens to be an apple orchard and also happens to have like maple trees surrounding it, because it smells like well, it doesn't smell like acorns, but it smells a little bit nutty, like you think acorns would smell. It smells a little bit like a cashmere sweater, but it also smells appley, and it smells like fall. It smells like autumn. It smells like New England Salem. It's a classic, guys. It's a classic. I'm telling you. And I'm not being paid to say that. What was I saying before? I can't remember. I was right in the middle of the sentence. Yeah, I was saying that some of them, like her Christmas fragrances, I know that she's only going to make them once or twice, so I just can't burn them. And she gets so mad at me because she wants me to burn them, which it makes sense. And Leslie Pethybridge was here. I don't know if she still is. I think I showed this one before. I saved a little bit of it because I want to be able to go back and smell it, but and don't be grossed out when you see this candle, because I'll explain it to you. You're going to think that I destroyed this thing. This is Silver Moon Candle Company, and I was burning this a while back, but I put this out today because I noticed that Leslie is ripping up for new concepts, new designs, new mixology of new candles. I don't know what her time frame is, but I think this is for me to plug Leslie Pethybridge. And Leslie, if you're listening, feel free to plug yourself, or just share your Instagram handle, or any way people can contact you or find your goodies. There's no shame in that. That's what we're here for. But this was her coffee fragrance. And what was amazing is, I said it looked like I destroyed this candle because of all that's the goodness down there. Well, what that was the candle at one point was topped with freshly ground coffee. So as the pool of the bigger and bigger, you know, you kind of see like a little bit of a lava lamp kind of thing happening with the fresh coffee. And you would have to imagine this ground coffee is going to start exuding the oils that are inside of those coffee beans. And you know, you really don't know how much is attributing and how much is attributing to the coffee. But either way, this was a really, really fun, very, very, very good coffee candle experience. We all know how hard it is to get a real authentic coffee, like a black coffee experience. To me, this coffee shop, it's not just a good cup of coffee, but this is like, you know, you're standing really close to the espresso machine. You know, they're pulling those shots of espresso. The crema, that heavy brownish, yellowy, foamy cream that builds up on the top of the espresso, right? Oh, makes it. And it's, you know, you're getting a lot of the vapor, the steam that's coming out of the machine. So this is not just an espresso bean. This is not just espresso, the beverage. This is not just black cup of coffee, but this does kind of fall into a cafe coffee shop experience. There is some caramel notes, nutty notes that mimic caramel. The nutty notes are, what's interesting is that the nutty notes come through in coffee beans. It's inherent in the coffee when you toast them. Another one that I burned Twisted. Oh yeah, look at that. I can't get into that pose anymore. Can't do it anymore. I never used to. I could never do that. But this is called Twisted, and Twisted she is, that lady. I hope you can make that out. It's a very precarious situation for this young lady. But this was a bundle of cotton candy, and I don't know what the other half was, but it smelled like lemon Fruit Loops, or just Fruit Loops in general. Yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said about that. And here's one that I haven't burned. I was going through because I have a few that I haven't burned. Oh. Oh. It's like, this is, well, let me show you what it is. It's called Shadow People, right? It's really hard in this lighting, but it's an old room. We see the chandelier, the old chair, that wallpaper, and this very ominous shadow. We see the hearth in there too, the fireplace, but it hasn't been lit in many, many years and ages, in fact. It's this old house that's come to life randomly one night in the middle of the night. It's from her paranormal collection. But anyway, it really, it was that smell of like you walk into a museum, and that museum was like an old, like 19th century home. It was built ages ago. It could be a library. I'm trying to think of a good example. I guess a good example would be like when I walked into the Lizzie Borden house, or some of the houses that are in my parents' hometown. These are really old homes, 150 plus years old. You walk into these older homes, this smell that it's not musty, it's not moldy, and these are clean, beautiful places. But these old structures just have a smell, and to the point where times you can still smell it on your clothes after you leave. I think the last time I smelled it was when I was at Sunnyside, which is Washington Irving's estate, the gentleman who wrote A Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I walked into his home, and yeah, I was filming a show that they were doing down there, but I'd been on a tour before, and the tour they let you walk around. But when I was doing the show, like no one was watching me. I mean, I couldn't go steal anything, but I was kind of like, wow, I'm inside the house. But there's just that sense that you're in a place that's really old. Maybe it's the carpeting, maybe it's the wooden boards, maybe it's the infrastructure of the house that just radiates and permeates all of this wonderful aroma that just brings you back in time. And that's what this candle is doing at first. I say at first because there's much more going on. There's some beautiful citrusy notes and floral that make you feel like this house, the maid was just here and she just cleaned everything. And I don't mean, like, 1-800-MAID service. I'm talking like the ghost in the hall. But she mysteriously died one evening while walking down the stairs. The poor young thing saw it coming. She's buried in the backyard, but sometimes, so they say, she could be seen at the end of this hallway. That kind of maid, like the maid that's coming in the middle of the night, and you're like, you know what? I'm not ready for ghosts and goblins tonight. But she's using cleaners and elixirs and things in glass jars, cleaning supplies that nobody uses anymore. This isn't Lemon Pledge. This is some kind of concoction made out of herbs and ground and books and paper and firewood. This is a library. This is a study. This is a smoking lounge with a fireplace. Shadow People. I just grabbing a bunch of candles off the shelf today, and this was one that, wow. This is so great. It's a paranormal collection, so it's not a Halloween candle. I don't know if it's in stock or if you get your hands on it, But Leslie, go over, see what she does have available, and if you really want something like this, ask her. She'd be like, guide me, help me out. This is what I like. What should I purchase? What should I buy a sample of to see what of yours I enjoy? Supporting small business, small production candles is really important. It's the future of the scented candle industry. It truly is, in my opinion. And if we consider ourselves candle enthusiasts, candle geeks, candle aficionados, we really need to start paying attention to not just but the artistic and the small, the bold and the brave, the people who are doing it by themselves with their own paycheck, because they're doing it because of the true passion and love, artistry, creativity of the art form of scented candles. Show some love. Silver Moon Candle Company. Speaking of small production, this is one I finished. This was a watermelon candle by Burn Something. Somethingcandles.com is the full address. It's a very generous size travel tin. Sometimes these things can get really small, but this was quite beautiful. And this one came with a wood wick in a travel tin. Holy moly! I washed this tin with soap, dish soap. Still smells like Jolly Rancher watermelon. Maybe not so authentic, but if you're about the Rancher candies, you're about the watermelon bubblicious candies. If you need a little bit of that pick me up of like bring me back to grade school, Starburst, chewy, sour, sweet candies, that'll give you a pick me up or pick you up. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this. Got some more empties here. One more thing I just want to mention. This is not a promotion. This is really just one candle enthusiast to another. I told you how much I loved this candle new line. They're making 3 new collections, 3 wicks, a vegetable wax blend. It's a wax, of course. I burned watermelon and lime, and this thing was insane. I have my bath towels. My bath towels are folded and stored in the closet. And I was showering, and I was using my towel one day, and I'm drying my face, and I'm like, why does this towel smell like the 4th of July? And I'm not talking about in a subtle way here. I mean, this was like something is on this towel and it smells good, and I'm gonna keep rubbing my face on it. It was the candle. The candle was so powerful, it like sunk into my bath towels that were folded and inside my closet. I have not been impressed by the power of a candle as much as I have been by these new Kringle candles. This one, it's authentic, it's heavenly, it is wonderful, it's nostalgic, but I do want to warn you, it's powerful. You're gonna start wishing with those that you didn't say, oh man, I wish these candles would throw more. Because this one was intense. It's just called sugar, but just take it from me. Just take it from me. Just please. I've been here for 4 years. I wouldn't continue to lie to you. I'm not going to be lying, sitting here for 4 years telling you. And no sponsorship here. I'm telling you, cinnamon sugar. Yeah, that's a fun name, but this is not just cinnamon sugar in the barn. This is in somewhere like New England during harvest season. Somebody's making maple syrup, some oak somewhere. There's some delicious treats freshly baked somewhere. There is tons of cinnamon. There is tons of sugar. But an ingredient in here that I haven't seen used before, and I'm forgetting what the name is, but it's something that's used in the culinary world to give this extra flavor, like this extra aroma of savoriness, like bread, like French baguette. I forget what the ingredient is, but as soon as I read notes to this candle because I couldn't take it anymore when I was burning it. I'm like, what is going on in this candle? Whatever that ingredient was, it mimics, in some cases, baked bread. And as soon as that came out, my mind went to the French, not the French Laundry, but Bouchon Bakery in Napa Valley. I would go to, and you get right out of the oven, freshly, some little cheese, make it an afternoon, beautiful. But this candle is insane. However, it's strong. It's strong. It's strong. Find a big place if you get it. All right, let's go to the Q&A. If you are still with me, guys, bless you. I think I can turn these lights off now. We'll keep this one. Maybe we'll do this. How about that? There we go. It's okay. The sun's starting to go down. You guys with me? All right. Which Citywix trick or treat is so good? Yeah, I hate to bum you out. I don't think it's coming back, though. It didn't come back last year, and I don't know if it's coming back this year, unless she's got a surprise for us. But write her an email. Share your case. Why do you come back? Let's see. Wishful thinking. The brand, the Shadow People candle. It is Silver Moon Candle Company. Maggie, thanks for asking that. And has anyone tried the candle from Candle Company? I'm getting all of these mixed up. Magic Candle Company? Is that no, that's Wishes Candle Company. But by chance, is Magic Candle Company inspired by Disney? Rachel is in the house. Hi, guys. Catching the tail end, I guess. Eric is in the house. And Jay Sherrill, have we met? Still here. Good for you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Maybe it will show up on eBay or Mercari. I don't know what that is, but let's do the Q&A, which will lead into the giveaway. And I'll tell you what the giveaway is. Again, it's going to be a modest, but it's something. It's something. And it's not that modest. You'll get plenty of enjoyment out of it. And there's options, too. I'm going to give you options. So, let's move to... You pulled up, but because I didn't want the lagging to continue, I closed all of the pages down. Here we are. All right. Are we ready? You guys don't need to see the questions, right? Let me just get in a good spot. This is where I get to slouch. All right. How you doing, Karen? Do you have an annual tradition of something you do every June? Yes. Well, I said Lake George when I was a kid, but something else that actually came to my mind first when I read June is the last week of June, my hometown, they have what they call a bazaar. Not bazaar as in like you're a bazaar, as in like a market. The hometown I grew up in, it's a very old town, so I'm guessing it's just a very long tradition of where it used to be people just selling things, making things, selling things, raising money for. But it's turned into, at least when I was a child, and it still is, it's a carnival, it's concessions, it's sometimes there's some gambling going on. I didn't say it, but there's some gambling going on. Hey, it's an Italian-Irish town, so some very old-fashioned type people. They're great. Hey, I'm Irish. I'm Italian. Don't hate on me. But yeah, there's like roulette tables and stuff. It's crazy. Are they actually gambling? They can't be. But maybe they are. I don't know. Anyway, there's games, but the best part of it, the town, like all the teachers from the schools, they come out to the property where they have this carnival. They team up with the local restaurants, all the Italian restaurants, all the local cuisine. I don't know if we have any other like anything not just Italian. Do we have the Greek restaurants maybe? I don't know, but I remember just the Italian. It really a big Italian town where it almost felt like an Italian like celebration, but it's just this tent of sausage and pepper sandwiches, pizza, calzones, fried dough, and it was just as a kid, it was the most amazing thing. I mean, I know every town's got something like that, but there was a sense of community. Like you're kind of proud of the town because of its history. You're kind of celebrating, like every year, like it's not the birthday of the town, but it kind of felt that way, like it was our own personal of July. There was fireworks, there were parades, and they still do this. I just haven't really attended it. So that was like the big tradition. I think this year I would go, only they're not having it this year. But other years that I've lived in the area, I haven't gone. Because I'm just honestly, it's not even like bumping into people who are locals. It's like bumping in like people I went to high school with. Like that, just weird. Too much time has passed where it's just weird. But it was more of like bumping into like third grade teachers and them asking like, so what do you do? Where are your kids? And I'd be like, you know, my life took a lot of crazy turns, and I don't want to necessarily blame you, third grade teacher. You are the one who emptied out my desk, tipped the desk over. She tipped it over. The desk, all the stuff goes inside. She tipped it over. Everything spilled for. She did this because it was messy. And what was great was my comeback was she tipped. Only a few things fell out. Like my pencils fell out, a couple of my pens, a couple pieces of paper. But everything was jammed. It was wedged in there. So my comeback didn't all come out. Oh man, I was done. My parents were called on that evening. It's all right. Karen. Very long way to answer that. Porch live stream. Yes, it is, Nicole. I hope you took your nap, and hope you're doing well. David says, what's your favorite Christmas candle? Doesn't matter if the company is big or small. And also, why is it your favorite? Says David. My favorite Christmas candle. I'm sorry, guys, for making some of these always so easy. 1993 Yankee Candle. I believe it's a limited edition as well. It's simply called Merry Christmas. They released it years before. They released it afterwards. I'm sure over the years in Yankee Candle's history, it smelled like many different things. But this particular candle in 2013, the label looks like one of those Coca-Cola commercials, like the painting of Santa Claus or like the polar bears drinking the bottles of Pepsi. It just had that aesthetic, like Christmas Eve, the candle, Yankee Candle. The candle is nothing more than probably just straight up peppermint, vanilla, and like cane sugar. That's it. That's it. Like, that's all it takes. It doesn't take complexity. But that smell of that candle will forever be burned in my mind. It's like, that's the smell of Christmas to me. It's just straight up peppermint. Like candy canes, right? Thank you, David. Madeline says, if the sky is the limit, what style for Elsa and yourself? And it's just funny. She goes, log cabin, craftsman, etc., etc. And what type of lot would you build it in? In the middle of an apple orchard on the coast? I feel like, Madeline, you're reading my mind a little bit too much. It's scaring me because see if I can find it. Like, it'll be super quick, I promise. It would be a log cabin, and although the apple orchard sounds kind of amazing, I would love for it to be up high in the mountains, covered in forest, with a vista that dropped down on the front porch to see a beautiful view. My only suggestion is, if I were to build a cabin like that, I just hope I could get down safely. I don't want to be snowed up there and stranded. But the seclusion, like knowing that, it's not that I don't like neighbors. Neighbors are great. But I love the idea of just quiet. And my father had a cabin when I was younger, and it was just the peace that you could achieve up there was crazy. And I used to stay in an A-frame cabin up in Lake Placid Tree, and just family around on Christmas Eve, Christmas morning. Everyone's drinking coffee, you know, hot cocoa. The kitchen is an open concept, so it's like you can kind of chill out and talk in the living room while someone's cooking, but you can also, there's plenty of space to cook and help people prepare different dishes in the kitchen. I just love this house. They built it probably about 15 years ago, and every time I go to Lake George, I visit it. It's on I-87. It is right off of 23. Look for the Dunkin' Donuts, look for the McDonald's, and if you're at either one of those places, just spin 360 degrees this cabin, go over, knock on the door, and just walk all over it. It's amazing. So that's it. Up in the woods, but still, you know, as long as I can get my Jeep up and down in the snow, that's my only request. Questions. Losing myself here. Is that a good answer? I'm getting a message that says YouTube is not receiving enough information to give yourself a smooth stream. Guess I'll have to find out later. Francine, big shout out to Francine. She's just I think she's newer to the channel, but she's just recently has done something very kind. She wanted to have a little bit of privacy, but I forgot about that as I said her name. But let's say she supported the Candle Enthusiast in a very positive way, a very generous way too. Are there any major candle care differences when burning a versus poured candle, like a taper candle? I don't know if, you know, ooh, a dipped candle. I just want to make sure a taper candle, there's no other candles that could be, right? I don't think taper candles are really, right? I don't think there's much care. You don't see a lot of scented ones. A Yankee Candle used to make scented, I mean back in the old days. And up until like the early 90s, maybe even later than that, they still made tapers. I think a candle snuffer is the only thing that you would need other than what you don't already own for your jar candles. But that is a good question. Do an initial pool. That's for the dipped candles. If you mean something else by dipped, I'm gonna feel really bad. Trim the wick. I would trim the wick. Does Elsa play fetch or have a favorite toy? She does. She doesn't like to like run a lot outside. She's not an outdoor dog. I found out very quickly, but she does like to play. And her, I don't know what it is. I bought her like at least 4 or 5. No joke. Different colors, different sizes. But she just seems to be very particular about one character, and that's going to be Lamb Chop. You know, Lamb Puppet, right? She's got a little one, she's got a bigger one, she's got a massive one. I bought her a big blue one. Most of them have been destroyed. There's something about Lamb Chop that she loves. I did just buy her a Gumby toy though, and she does enjoy that. Thank you, Francine, for the question. Penny, is there a way to know if someone melted all the scent from a candle or lit it? Is there a way to know if someone melted all scent from a candle if they never lit it? For those buying candles online. Am I just being really thick today? Is there a way to know if someone melted all of the scent from a candle if they never? This is a brain teaser, Penny. Someone melted all of this. I really don't know, and I feel bad because I'm sure it's a great question. Penny, I know. Go elaborate on that question, and I will answer it. I will answer it on the feel bad. And if you're in the room or in the chat room, maybe you can phrase it a different way, or if somebody gets it, probably me. Roxy says, "Hi Shane, do you have any favorite scents that remind you of the seashore? And what would be a good seashore candle? What would a good seashore candle smell like?" So I talked about that Bath and Body Works Saltwater Breeze. I really mean it. Like it's a very good one for me because it's lighter on some of the things that bother me, and it's a very blend of fragrances that is not too much laid spray. You know, I feel like a lot of aquatic candles or scents just smell too much like bathroom odor deodorizers. And I don't mean that to be in a mean way. It's just, you know, I mean, every laundry detergent, every odor deodorizer spray, most of them is based on some kind of ocean, right? Hawaiian Breeze, Polynesian Splash. So I would recommend that one. Bay Breeze, when you can find it, by Yankee Candle, is always awesome. Black Sand Beach, as long as you don't mind a little bit of earthiness in your candle. Black Sand Beach was kind of cool. If you don't mind earthiness and a pretty pungent floral, I think it's orchid in that candle. I think they call it black orchid. I think that might just be them just having fun with the fragrance notes, though. What's another good one? Maybe different company. Seashore. Did you say seashore? She did say seashore. Yeah. Let's get off a Yankee Candle. One that I burned was called. I just can't hold any memories. Spireside Candle is one of those Disney-inspired candle companies, and I really got into them for a while because labels were outrageously awesome, and the candles were really good. They made one inspired by Peter Pan. It's Mermaid something, but don't get it confused with the Little Mermaid one. But it's like not Mermaid Lagoon. Maybe it is. I don't know. That was a good one. I think I like green and light floral ocean fragrances with some saltiness. But when it gets into like the really strong florals and the really powerful like freesias, and then you add the citrus in there. It starts to, it brings me to Glade bathroom spray. So it is a hard, it's hard. I feel like one's going to come to mind later, but we do need. Thank you very much, Roxy. Michelle says, "Do you use jar shades? If not, why? If yes, why?" Jar shades, Yankee Candle jar shades, the glass shades, the plates, the shades. They kind of actually look like this. The older ones are ceramic, the newer ones are glass. I don't use them anymore. I used to. Why did I? They looked beautiful, but it just makes it more, in my mind, um, it was a very smart move for Yankee to help keep the glass, keep the wax warm, keep the jar warm, while preventing a lot of soot to get on your furniture. When they turned to glass, it added an extra spark of illumination. It's just a lot of obstacles for the fragrance to get out of. It's hard enough for the fragrance to get out of the Yankee Candle jar, but now it's got to go through this little funnel, and the hole is this big. I like them. I use them, and I have a large amount of them, but I use them for more decorative purposes. So a good little trick is buy a nice little LED light, a night light, whatever you want, put it in the shade, and have a dummy candle. Like, just buy a candle, a red candle, turn it around, or show the label, whatever you want, and just put the light inside there. And if you can get one of those like cool like flickering bulbs, that works even better. I mean, this way you can use it to decorate your candles, but you're not using it as it's actually, because this is also what I will say, I've had the glass actually warp a bit because of the heat of the flame. Now that may have been my fault, but every now and then candles get out of control. A little bit too much oxygen here and there, the flames can get big, especially if the candle's brand new. And I noticed that the glass warped a little bit. I like that, but I just don't use mine as much as I used to. So thank you, Michelle. And Amanda said, only keep one candle from your collection. What would it be? Oh man, you have to ask these emotional driven questions. Well, this is one thing. This is I actually wanted to briefly mention this. I showed, this is the Watch City Wicks Salem candle. On the back it says Zero. Zero is the name of my brother's dog. It says Zero's August 2017. I was in Salem, which is where my brother's dog and for the first half of Zero's life, in Salem, right down on the Pickering Wharf. And I've always been close with my brother. I spent so much time with my brother down there. He owned several businesses. But anyway, eventually moved back to New York, closer to where Eric grew up, or where we grew up. And then Eric and his wife, Monica, moved out to Los Angeles because Eric is a filmmaker and you just have to be in Los Angeles. But Zero was of an age where he just didn't feel comfortable taking Zero. So when I moved back to New York, because Zero and I just always had a great relationship, I took care of Zero for a while, and just like she just instantly became my dog, and like the fact that she was my brother's dog made me feel even closer to her. Well, I was in Salem filming a video. It was the film, I was actually interviewing Liz from Witch City Wicks that day. I got a call that Zero had passed away. It changed the course of my whole trip. It was obviously devastatingly sad, but what was really special about it was that I was in Salem, which was a place that I felt like was synonymous with my brother. So I purchased this Salem candle, and I walked right down to where my brother used to live, his apartment, and where he would walk Zero every day. And I was sitting right there on the water, right by the wharf. legs dangling and everything. I bought 2 coffees. I bought a dog biscuit. I took this candle and a bunch of matches, and with all that wind, it wasn't easy, but I lit this candle and put it right down there on the ledge by the water, let it burn, drank 1 cup of coffee, took the sun, poured that coffee in the water for Zero, and I suppose my brother as well. Took the little doggy biscuit that had a little bit of piping on it. It said Salem. Threw that in the water, and I filmed it all. I filmed it with the intention of, maybe one day my brother want to see that. And I kind of covered it like I was making a movie. I think it was a way for me to do something creative to go over the emotions I was feeling. But I was filming it from different angles so I could cut it together and make it look really nice. And when I was putting together these brand new USB hard little flash drives, they're behind the scenes, deleted material, bloopers, exclusive content. Last was an hour. How long was it? It was an hour and 15 minutes of exclusive footage that's never been seen before. But I'm making next month's, and that footage is going to be on that exclusive drive. So to answer your question, this is a special candle. This wouldn't be the one, but it probably has the better story, this Salem candle. The one I probably would hang on to is my father's Witch's Brew. He loved Witch's Brew. I went up and I purchased them. It was 2017 when they came in the black tumblers, the Forbidden Apple and Haunted Hollow. And he hadn't burned it. And I remember asking him, like, Dad, did you burn the candle? I don't want to burn it. I just want to smell it. I don't want to use it up. And I'm like, all right. Kind of like me. But that one sits proud on my shelf now. And that flash drive, if you're interested in those flash drives, I'm not making a lot of them because they're truly only for people who have watched a lot of my videos, because I don't want to promote it too much, because what'll happen is people will buy it thinking they're going to see tons of candle content, and really this is just stuff. It's really like movies and deleted footage from all of my travel videos. But what I liked about it is it's a vicarious experience. It's like a vlog of everything I was doing in between locations, and I'm doing it in chronological order. So the first hard drive was from the very beginning, before even the Candle Enthusiast began, up until Christmas of that first year. All of that material. If you're interested, patreon.com/thecandleenthusiast. The link is in the description. There's only 5 people who get them a month. I'm limiting it to 5. I might up it, but right now it's 5. 3 of them are gone. There's only 2 spots left. And tomorrow's the 1st. So if you want to get this month's drive, it's by today or tomorrow. All right. Thank you very much, Amanda, for that question. Clean. If you could open your own candle store, how would you imagine the store would look like? What would it smell like? Where would it be located? Located with I think people with a sharp sense of the arts, right? As much as I love small little old-fashioned towns, I don't know if they'd be open to some of the ideas I had, where I was gonna say Napa Valley. Napa Valley would be a great place for candles, but who's gonna? Yeah, people are so wrapped up in wine tasting. Who's gonna stop to smell candles? I don't know where it'd be located. I would love it to be located in New England. Again, like something like Stockbridge, Massachusetts, Sturbridge, Massachusetts, Salem, Massachusetts, anywhere around the North Shore. It's beautiful, beautiful place, New England. And I don't want to sing Massachusetts, including all of the states that are involved. But an old-fashioned town where things don't fast, where people, go out for breakfast on Sunday mornings. And what would it look like? I think it would be really cool if it looked like like a not like a Western saloon, but somewhat of an old style saloon with a bar, with maybe some uh, candle sommeliers behind the bar to kind of out candles and where people can have a conversation with someone and they could talk about what kind of candles they would like and they could the associate candles for them to smell. I don't know. I've never really thought of that. Whenever I thought about a candle company, I always thought of an internet-based business. This though, I think it would be much better if you'd walk into a candle store and it wasn't covered with the wall-to-wall candles. You don't need 100 of the same candle on a shelf, right? If you have one just sitting there, one or two or three or four, it makes it look like it's limited. Always go back after you smell it. Go back and get that candle for you. I don't know. It's a great question. Claudine, you're in love with New England. I'm in love with New England. I think we have the same sensibility as far as like when it comes to candles. I think it would have to be something like Stockbridge store inside the Red Lion Inn on Stockbridge. Oh God. Oh, that would be. I think that's my answer. I love that because you get a lot of tourism, and you have a you have a candle store. Yeah, that's definitely. I like that. No one steal that idea. Maggie says, if you had budget, would you only buy high-end candles? No. I would only buy good candles. I think if you really think about that sentence, it speaks for itself. But I don't mean to be short with your question, Maggie. That's a very good question. I don't think, yeah. High-end candles. No, it's more about the message and the story that the candle company represents. That's what really gets me interested. Thanks, Maggie. Stephanie says, what is your very earliest memory and what scent profile do you associate with it? This isn't a joke. I would have very, very, very young. A lot of people would claim that I have a memory at 2 years old, is my question to you. It's rhetorical because I'm looking at the wrong screen right now. But can you have a memory at 2 years old? Well, to me, there's no doubt about it. I do. I remember my brother putting a VHS into a VCR in our living room and saying that we're taping something. And I don't know how I responded, but I don't even know if I did respond. And what he was recording was that year's David Copperfield, the Magic of David Copperfield television special. I won't tell you which one because that'll give you my age. Not that I care. But, and I just don't know why all this is so vivid. I remember him cutting out the image from the TV guide, taping it onto the cover of the VHS. You'd like put like David Copperfield on the back and the description of what the show was about on the back and just taped it on there. And then I remember my brother coming home and saying, what are you watching? It's David Copperfield. Oh, David Copperfield, he was the one at the Civic Center in Poughkeepsie. I didn't see that, but my brothers did. I remember my brother saying that. My brother had a pizza, a bag of Doritos, and an orange Gatorade. Some of these details can be wrong, but I'm almost confident of all of these things. So that would be the first memory, because I can't imagine being younger. I had to be like 2. And I guess the scent associated with that would be Pizza, Doritos, and orange Gatorade, baby. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Someone get on that. Nacho cheese, mozzarella, marinara sauce, and salty orange. Thanks, Stephanie. Robert says, what was the first scented candle you remember making an impression on you? Was it a normal day or a memory that enhanced a holiday? I will say the monumental moment. I've always been a fan of candles. Yankee Candle has always crept in and out of my life. I feel like it's been with me from the beginning. I've always been passionate about aromas, even before I burned scented candles. But there was a time when I smelled a Yankee Candle. Let's keep it simple. Like I said before, it was a peppermint candle. It wasn't the Merry Christmas. It was a peppermint candle. And I suddenly was so homesick, but at the same time comforted because I wasn't home. And I smelled this candle, and it just hit me like an ant dropped out of the sky, and it just made me feel like Christmas is here and I'm not home. It really rocked my bones. It shook the pillars. Whatever phrase you use for a massive impact, that was it. And it was a period of time where I wasn't home for a while, and that candle was a huge comfort to me, because every time I smelled that Yankee Candle and I smelled inside that jar, it brought me back to my entire family and home, and it brought me back to my favorite holiday, Christmas. Yeah, so I mean, I'm sorry it wasn't, the scent wasn't something like, that's an interesting one, but I think it's what was more interesting was the impact that it had. Thanks, Robert. Rachel says, when you are in the shower and go to wash your hair, do you face the water, or do you face away from the water when rinsing? This is actually a debate that I have found myself in. Well, Rachel, that is a very good question. Can't help but I can't help but not notice all the smiley laughing emojis in your question. What is it? You're in the shower and you wash your hair. When you wash your hair, okay, so so it's specifically washing the hair. Do you face the water? I gotta act this out. The debate of the toilet paper, does it go over or does it go down? Like, it goes over all the way, right? Like, we don't need to discuss that. But this debate, I feel like there's variables here. There's some faults, because I'm one of the rare few who, I despise hot water. I hate hot showers. I hate it. Like, I don't mind if it's lukewarm and it's a warm, it's like, ooh, this is water. But I hate standing in a hot shower. I actually coffee too. Like, I don't want to scorch my mouth. I must have very sensitive baby skin. But so I tend to, what I think I do is I step away, like all the way back. And I don't think it matters which direction I'm facing. I'm just out of the stream of water. It's just I guess it's a good question. I don't think I do either one. I may even face shower curtain. I don't know. And if I'm singing my rendition of "Don't Go Burnt" by Elton John, there's a lot of movement in that number. Because it's the duet. You gotta do both parts. So you gotta do one of those. So I can't give you an answer to that one, but let that debate turns out, because that's something busters. Rianne says, do you like to write letters and send them to people? Do you have a pen pal? That's actually a really sweet question, Ryan. A pen pal? I don't have a pen pal, but I do like. I do. You know what it is? I love the idea of sending postcards, Ryan. I love sending Christmas, like the idea of sending Christmas cards, Halloween cards. I actually, for Patreon.com, I send out postcards. I find postcards wherever I travel. I try to buy some. And if I can, I send them while I'm actually there. The problem is when it comes to Christmas and it's like, oh my God, I gotta like fill out all these Christmas cards. I start writing and it feels like, it's finals week in college and you're whole arthritic. And I start writing. I have the worst penmanship in the world. Um, so the idea is always great, but I don't send as much postcards and Christmas cards as I like. But I like how you said, do I have a pen pal? Because imagine if I did. That would be a little story that I could tell. Let me tell you guys, I have a pen pal. And Stephanie's back. She goes, oh, I just thought of another question because I had been talking about this with some folks recently. Do you remember the jingle for Slide World? It is as deep inside your brain as mine. Is it as deep inside your brain as my water slide world? See, I know I think Stephanie and I grew up around the same area. And if my calculations are correct, they're about 45, maybe 45 miles, because we've met and we've discussed, and I know Stephanie's been to the Crossgates Mall, but Water Slide World, we didn't, that was never an option. We had Zoom Flume, and we had not Slip and Slide, Splashdown. And Splashdown's still there, and so is Zoom Flume. But I'll be honest with you, this is sad. This Water Slide World sounds incredibly fun, and I do not remember the jingle. Next time I'm at one of those rest stops up and down the New York State Thruway, I'm going to see if I can find a brochure. Thomas Sterling Schofield the third. I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen you, Thomas. I have a question, Shane. I had someone tell me that Yankees 2020 fall collection be called Campfire Nights, with titles such as Crisp Campfire Apples, along with Pecan Pie Bites, Warm and Cozy Night Under the Stars. Is there any way you might be able to find out if those are them? Those are them. The 2020 fall collection is called Campfire Nights. If you go into the description of my latest Yankee Candle videos here on this channel, you'll find the list of all of the scents from this point forward until the end of Christmas. There's always a couple surprises. There's a couple online exclusives that they throw on us every so often. Not every so often. There's always a Christmas surprise, whether it's a tiny little collection, or it's one or two candles, or it's a completely different format. There's always other couple autumn candles that don't fall in to the actual autumn collect. They're kind of standalone autumn candles, but you'll see in my latest videos, these are all confirmed candles for the UK and the United States from now until the end of 2020. But those names are right, and I just wish you had like something where I could show you the pictures. The fundraiser catalog was released, so if you can find that online, find small pictures of the labels. But I do have some high resolution labels that I will be sharing closer to the release of those candles. I just don't want to get them out now because they won't seem special when I actually put those videos out. But that's always a good question. And asks, have you ever braved any stores during quarantine yet? Tractor Supply. Oh, I could show you a clip. I was dancing to some 80s music, and it was just so weird. I was dancing because I knew no one was watching, unless there's some security guards somewhere in the back room. But I happened to be walking by like full body white jumpsuits, and it just looked like if I could just find like a red hat, like I would be like in a Devo music video, you know? It was just so appropriate. So I've been into Tractor Supply, grocery stores. Guys, I've really have been quarantined. I mean, I might as well be in solitary confinement. Not an outdoors person, and I haven't been able to get out and film any projects. Um, uh, getting as much work done as I can to raise money for when it is summer and when the holiday seasons begin. Really September, it's late late August, September, October, and then really November, and that's it. But to get out and do all the aromatic adventures, candle enthusiasts. So I'm just trying to do all that. But I work. If I'm not filming, I work out of the house. I'm not an outdoors kind of person. I like taking adventures, but yeah, no, I haven't. No stores, and I've also not gotten a haircut either. Really having a difficult time finding someone to cut my hair. I'm trying to think. Did I go to any other stores? I didn't. Okay, we got to find a winner. Let's see. What is your favorite Christmas candle? Is David with us right now? I want to give him a couple seconds. I just feel horrible because I feel bad if I say a person's name and they're not here. Like, I want to give it to someone that's here, but he's going to feel horrible if he says it. And we got Doug in the house from Hall and Wax. Awesome that Doug's here. Maybe. I remember passing Splashdown going to Marist, says Lauren. Yeah. Man, that was. I never liked it. Let's face it. I never liked it, but it was like it was a big deal when my brothers would go. And I just never liked being in water ever. I never liked the beach. I never liked the swimming pool. Is David here? I gotta come up with a rule. Like, if you got, because I could wait. Okay, so David, if you're watching this at a later time, I have a runner-up prize for you. How about that? Make sure that I pick someone who's here. If the sky is the... What style home would you build for Elsa and yourself? Log cabin. Yeah, I like that. That brought me to the Lake George, which I touched on in the beginning. It brought me to the log cabin. It's, if you look at the thumbnail of this video, I'm standing up front. In my head, it is a log cabin. It's supposed to be this view, and it's totally, but in my head, it is my log cabin. I'm always talking about, if I could run away, I still talk about running away from home. A middle-aged man, or getting pretty darn close, and I still talk about running away, like getting in my car, no matter living currently, getting in my car, just going, finding a cabin in the woods, not being a hermit, but just living in the privacy of my own little cabin. And I just, that's my happy place. Being in a cabin, Christmas lights, hot coffee and hot cocoa 24/7, outside to hike more wood to throw into the wood stove. So if you're not figuring this out, Madeline, I'd like to name you the winner if you're in the chat area. Is Madeline here? I'm trying to find the comments. Come on. Madeline. Madeline's here. Hey, Madeline S. Is that, it has to be her, right? Madeline's here. Madeline S. Since seeing Shane's Red Line in video. Oh, and she's seen the Red Lion video. So that's even better because that's one of my favorites. You are here, Madeline. Madeline, all right. Get ready. Don't get too excited, but this is fun. It's fun. It's a free gift. I'll send you a postcard and I'll write you a message. And, you know, it helps me think that I'm a celebrity of some kind. Not that I want to be. But I figured I have 2 body sprays from Bath & Body Works, but body sprays are just not for everybody. So I also have 2 candles. So I'll let you pick either one of these candles, either one of these sprays, or about what? $11.99. These are like on sale for $8, but usually go for 10, 12 bucks. I don't know. I feel like they're all relatively relatively the same price. So that's why I picked them. We have a small jar. I gotta move this. Give me a second. I got a small jar. You can't even read it, can you? Because it's so small. This is from last year's Farmer's Market collection. It's not from a standalone, but it's the Pumpkin Apple Parfait. Oh, serious to God that was a real food sound that I just made. I just didn't burn any of the autumn candles last year. I was so busy making a feature film. That is like fresh Honeycrisp apple with pies and baked goods, like pies and cakes. Pies, cakes, and fresh apple with some apple cider. How could you not? Some whipped cream. Second choice, and it's this one, maple chai. So this was from the Farmer's Market collection. The sweet maple chai. I can't. This lighting is impossible. It's impossible. Well, you're going to have to take it because we're not going to get that focus. Sweet maple chai. I remember talking about this one a lot. So chai spices, I'm guessing. You have a difficult because this is like this is like heavy cream inside of a chai tea. It's a beautiful balance of spices. Got the cinnamon, the nut, but you got the toasted cardamom, maybe a little bit of the star, some cracked black pepper, toasted, but very creamy. It's starting to come back to me. I described this as a very thick, viscous, warm, decadent chai tea. My friend from the Culinary Institute of America, our apartments were right next to each other. She made her family, a whole family's from India. She made the most amazing chai tea. I never thought I'd be interested because I'm like spices and tea. I'm like, I don't know if I really. Oh my God, when it's made right. So sweet. There is a good maple note in there, and pumpkin apple parfait. Woo. Or we have, because since we've just been sticking with this autumn theme, I got sweet cinnamon pumpkin, Bath and Body Works Fine Mist Spray. I think I might have went a couple times, but no more than 4 pumps. No more. I bought 12 of these. I talked about them, and then I realized, what am I going to do with these? I thought I would use them for my car, but 1 bottle lasts for like 2 years in your car, as I found out. And then I have sparkling limoncello. I don't care. I always say limoncello. A lemon liqueur body spray. That's nice. You know what would be nice to like make your bed. You can make your bed, but then you can like really make your bed. You know, like get the pillows all symmetrical, right? Throw like a blanket on there, like just how you would see in a magazine. Make sure like they're all nice and like the little tasseled fringes on the ends of the blankets are all, pointing in the right direction. Yeah. And then Elsa comes along and bounces it up. And my point was, you make your bed all think in a magazine, and just go on top of your bed. That's what I smell. That's what I would use it for. I'm sorry I was like sticking that up my nose. Apparently you're going to get a little bit of DNA with your prize. So sparkling limoncello, sweet cinnamon pumpkin, one of these or one of these. The pumpkin parfait, pumpkin apple parfait, or the sweet maple chai. All you got to do is pick one, and when you don't rush, but when you've decided, just let me know here what you can wait if you want. Just email me at candle.enthusiast. No, why do I do that every week? That's my Instagram. Don't email me there. Email me at candleenthusiast@yahoo.com. No the and not Gmail. Candle@yahoo.com. And just say, hey, look, it's Madeline Stewart. I want. And this way we can figure out the best way to get this one of these items to you. And if everyone else who participated who didn't win, and congratulations, I didn't say that. Congratulations, Madeline. It truly is. It's fun for me to do this. I mean, this is a very, very affordable way for me to give back a little bit every week. So I like that. I want to try to do this. But everyone, thank you for everyone who participated, and there's going to be bigger giveaways, not just bigger, but different types of giveaway, different things I have coming up with other candle companies and non-candle companies that I'm working with. The best way, really the only way to get some of these is to be a member. You guessed it, the Candle Enthusiast the Facebook Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan. Try to say it fast. It's hard. The Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan group. I still don't even know if I said it right. I just said a bunch of words and syllables really fast. But go over. The link is in the description below. Request to join, and if you decide to, it's not a place that tickles your nostalgic bone. Well, you can leave and we'd still be friends. But we really want to see this community grow, because it's been we're getting to the 30-year anniversary, and so far so good. Did Madeline respond? I would love that pumpkin apple parfait candle. I'm so excited. Thank you, Madeline. It's truly my pleasure. I really appreciate and everybody who's been here for longer than half hour. If anyone could get one through, you guys can get through these live streams. Congratulations. I mean, I'm sick of hearing myself after I'm talking on the phone with someone for 20 minutes. I really want to commend all of you. But just because we got a few more seconds, I want to show you something that you may not already know, but a lot of you do. I just want to remind everyone, the flash drive of exclusivity, that's what I'm calling it, because I don't got a better name, but it's a 1 gigabyte hard drive. This is what I'm talking about with all the behind the scenes exclusive content. There's 2 spots left. Patreon.com/the Candle Enthusiast. Go there. There's a bunch of tiers. I want to promote that USB flash drive. That thing is awesome. But what I really, really need to express, and this is a responsibility that I have to myself and to you guys, because here I am for 3 years that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then one thing happens and another thing happens, and I never achieve my goal every year. And I really just don't want another falling short of what I promised you guys that I would produce. I want to be able to be traveling. non-stop. Not for fun, not for vacation. I want my dream, my goal is to create vicarious experiences. To go places, and I want to create videos that are not just like, hey, look at this, look at this. I want to be able to some way uh, create and document little travels for people all over the. If they want to visit me, they want to travel with me. If they find that they're a nostalgic person too and they don't mind spending time with me, I want people to travel with me and see all of these things that I've discovered and all the things I love about New England, all of the food, all of the attractions, all of the events, and the things that I've never seen before, all of the ghost tours, all of the late nights in places, all of the early morning moments, those moments of serenity when you have your coffee and you're sitting and you're in the outdoors and you're like, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Like, I was in the comfort of my own home yesterday, but now I'm in a completely new place and I'm doing something so special. Or I'm in a, and I'm like, why? I've done this to myself several times for the candle enthusiast. I'm in a snowstorm or I'm in a tremendous amount of snow and I'm in very precarious situations. And I ask myself, why am I doing this? I'm not doing it for me because I know how much enjoyment I would get if I were at home and somebody else was out there doing that, like taking me out into, because I don't want to go out in the snow when I'm at home and I'm working from home. I'm in my pajamas. I'm drinking my coffee. I got my cell phone. I don't want to go out in the snow, but deep down inside, I just can't, there's there's that adult feeling like, oh, I'm not a kid. I can't go out and do that. I'm not gonna go hiking today. Well, like who do I think I am? I'm not gonna go to a kids amusement park in December in the snow. I'm not gonna sit in a cemetery or a haunted house. Who in their right mind will do that? I will do that, and I want to do it, and I want to make sure that I can fund these videos. My point is, I cannot wait for the day, if the day comes, where I don't have to ask for pledges, donations to the candle enthusiast. But I'm in a place right now where that's, I've been doing this for 4 years, and that means I've done this cycle several times. I know roughly how much these things cost, what I expect for what's not good enough for me as far as this video is just not creatively good enough for me. I know what to expect. I have the formula down. I just don't want to fall short anymore. So if you are a fan of my travel destination videos, even just vlogs, we're not talking about professional videos all the time. Just like that Fort William Henry spare of the moment, there was no scripting, there was nothing happening. I just woke up at midnight, walked out of my hotel, and decided to film seriously from like 12 to 3 o'clock in the morning one night in Lake George in the snow. And it's still one of the videos I watch, and I laugh my butt off when I watch it. I just think there was something, I think I was still truly half asleep, or maybe took a sip of NyQuil to fall asleep and made me loony. I don't know what it was, but I really want to make these videos for myself, but mostly for you, because the greatest reward I've had since creating the Candle Enthusiast was realizing I can make a video and it makes me feel good. However, there's no other feeling better than when you make something and you're all excited about it for yourself, but other people are enjoying it too. To me, it's like it's the gift that's for you and for others. And it's really, the past few years has just been eye-opening. I cannot get over this addictive feeling of finishing a video of a new place, a new experience, and I just can't wait for you guys to see whenever I have one of these new videos. The problem is they cost money. So Patreon is a great way. $1 a month, that is not a joke. $1 a month, or buy a t-shirt. Buy a t-shirt, get the candle enthusiast, get a little candle enthusiast action. A portion of the t-shirt money goes right into the candle enthusiast account. You can donate anonymously, or you can drop me a line through PayPal. I've made that you feel comfortable if you want to donate as little as $1 to, I don't want to say too much because I don't want people spending too much. If someone's donating way too much, it's not. I'd rather everyone do like $1. If every subscriber paid $1 a month, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But I don't like asking people for money because this is free content, and I always want it to be free content. Till we get to a point where I can get sponsorships, companies are paying me a little bit of money to make a video, and they, I promote their product, or YouTube's paying me a little bit more money for views. We gotta build this candle enthusiast thing up. So that's it. I hate always having to do that. I am the worst salesman who's ever been born. I know, because I was a wine salesman for years. I was horrible. I was absolutely horrible. I felt bad. I felt bad like making a good sale, because that's how much value money has to me. So where are you guys here? I always regret the things I say, man. You guys aren't there. Where'd you go? As far as wisdom is concerned, man, I feel like every day, I always want to close the videos with wisdom. Every day, things are getting more outrageous, and it's like, something's got to give. Something's got to give. Things are crazy. Maybe it's best not to go outside anymore, I'm not going to try to give you words of wisdom, but other than this, what's the common saying? This too shall pass, right? With all of these things that are going on in the world, everything, every minute, yeah, this is going to be my wisdom. This is it. Think critically. Okay, when I say think critically, I mean don't say anything. Think critically. Don't say anything. Think critically. And then when you truly feel like you've thought enough, or because it's not, you need to think more. You got to be in bed, and you got to be thinking about all the things that we all should about. And then when you're really ready to say something, say a few things. But for God's sake, please make whatever you say something positive, okay? Something that someone can take, they hear your words, and it does something good for them. That's what positive is, right? It does something good for them. Let's keep the cynicism, the kind of the wisecracks, the jokes. Let's keep the things that are not so kind. But let's keep all those things hidden for a while, right? Some hard comedies every so often, but we don't really need hard comedy right now or tough love. What we need is things that make sense. And in order to say things that make sense, there's a lot of thinking that has to happen. Good thoughts or good sayings come from good thoughts, right? And good thoughts come from a lot of thinking. Critical thinking takes practice. I just don't like hearing these things, and I think we need positivity. We need to be helping each other and making sure that everyone's in a good space and that everyone feels like they're being recognized. And now I'm talking too much, but I do want to thank you for joining me on what was a beautiful sunny day, but now it's quite cold, and the creatures of the nights, including the motorcycles, they're coming alive. There's a chill in the air, there's a bite in the air. It feels like autumn is coming. Like, not true. It's June is coming. So do something summerish. If you're still in quarantine, put on a spooky movie tonight, one of those good fun, spooky, you know, summertime movies. Or if you're not into that, I don't know. I could go for like a chick flick tonight. Is that still is that flick cannot be PC? A romantic comedy, a rom-com, is what I'm moved for. And the truth is, I like romantic comedies. While You're Sleeping, Sandra Bullock. I don't know to tell you. I think that was the first time I fell in love. That hair, the raggedy clothes. She had no money. She was all alone. Her dad was dead. And she was, I mean, she was in Chicago. Why was she in Chicago? And like the best job she could get was she would accept the coins. Toll booth. Yeah, so that one, I remember going to the grocery store after that movie and buying a magazine with Sandra Bullock's face on it. This was post Speed too. That's a good one. While You Were Sleeping. It's not on sale on iTunes, so I'd recommend renting it before you buy it. But if you buy it, you'll probably watch it a couple times. And I do consider it a Christmas movie. It's totally appropriate for Christmas. I haven't lost my mind. I just wanted to talk just a little bit more before I said goodnight. All right, folks, thank you for joining in on the live chat sincerely. And I just want to double check, and I'm glad I did because I missed it. $1 and 10. I don't know how to say that. It's £1 plus from Rianne. Thank you so much for continual support. I'm always terrified that I'm going to miss a super chat. We will see you folks soon. Expect the killer clowns from outer space candle collection. 8 candles, yes, 8 candles. Edited video with tons of fun little special effects and me talking about candles for an hour. But at the very least, Erie Candle Company, show them your love. And I will be seeing you guys soon. But until then, be good, will you? Have a great